Nintendo. Yeah! Nintopics Podcast, all things Nintendo.
Yeah, we have a show so good today. That intro had to be played twice. So welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. We are live, and we're missing some beats here. That's not the beat that I'm looking for, although I appreciate the enthusiasm.
A lot of enthusiasm.
This is the beat right here for the entire podcast. It is Friday, and we're finally here. Listen, guys. You don't understand. You don't understand. It is Friday, March 7th. This is probably the beginning for some people of spring break away from school. I don't know if Paul over on his side is going to spring break this week, but I know my wife is a teacher. She just left on spring break today. It's a big giant deal. No school for the next 10 days. And so it's a good thing to celebrate. I know Joycey and other people who don't have a school job and stuff don't get that vacation thing, but we can still celebrate, right?
It's Friday. Definitely celebrate.
It's Friday. So welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. We are here live, and it is time to talk Nintendo games. But before, headbutt. I think that's enough for that, but right? All right. Without further ado, let me introduce to you the crew. Starting with Joycey J. How are you doing, Joycey?
Hello. How is everyone? Has everyone had a wonderful week? Did you have a good week? Doing good? All right. Just checking on you. Want to make sure you're doing good. All right.
We had a really great week. And thank you, Joycey. How about Paul Gill, the network, the Gill Force?
It's been a very good week on this end too. You know, we celebrated the Nintendo Switch turning 8. That was fun, and we're going to do more of that tonight, which I'm excited for. I didn't get to play many games this week, unfortunately, but I saw Love Hurts, which was a pretty fun movie. If you like John Wick, then that's kind of that type of movie. So, cool week though.
That is awesome. Oh yeah, isn't that movie with this guy? The guy from Indiana Jones who was a kid, but now he's grown up and he has an Oscar now. He's an Oscar-winning person. He's also in the Marvel universe now. Mm-hmm. And so, Love Hurts, right?
Yeah, Ki-Hugh Kwan.
Ki-Hugh Kwan.
Okay.
He's in Love Hurts. That was good.
I love the fact that he's out there more now. You know.
Shorty.
Yeah, Shorty from
Shorty.
Yeah.
Okay.
From Indiana Jones. He's a really good actor. I'm so happy that he's getting his time to shine. And how was the movie?
It was good. Without giving anything away, it is one of those former assassins trying to have a normal life, and then stuff happens to bring them back in. And good comedy, had me laughing. Nice amount of gory death. And, if you like that rated R kind of mature thing, it is pretty entertaining.
Did it give you Jackie Chan vibes? Because I miss Jackie Chan movie, man.
He was good in it. I wouldn't say that. I mean, no, different flavor.
Different. Okay.
Cool. Can I have a moment to get on my soapbox? Just 30 seconds, show.
Of course, Joycey. Of course.
As a fan of Harrison Ford and the original Indiana Jones trilogy, when I first heard years and years and years ago when they were making a fourth one, at first I was like, oh God, why would they make a fourth one? What do we need a fourth one for? Harrison Ford's 10,000 years old. And then I thought about Shorty. And I was like, oh, what if Shorty's coming back? And with Shia LaBeouf. And I always said part 4 would have done better if they had just brought back Shorty.
Right.
Full circle moment. Moment. Because apparently he and Harrison Ford, they didn't speak for a long time because, he was a child. But now that he's an adult, apparently they're like buddies. Or they're friendly with each other now. And I'm like, missed opportunity. I
remember they met again during an Oscars.
Yeah.
And they took that picture. They saw themselves from across the street. That big hug moment and everything. That was so cool.
They were so cute, and Shorty was just brilliant. It was I can't see Temple of Doom any other way.
I can hear his voice as a kid still.
Yeah.
He was in the Goonies too.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was.
Also, like 2 big '80s movies.
Yeah.
Then everything, everywhere, all at once, which was a couple of years ago, and it was like a long time in between. I think.
Yeah, I have to see that one. I haven't seen that one yet. But yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Sorry, I had to get on my soapbox about that because I love Indiana Jones.
Oh, good. So good. I'm looking forward to this movie. Hopefully, I can see it this weekend. I'm watching Severance. Severance is a crazy show. If you have not seen it yet, it's on Apple TV. It's Adam Scott. You know who Adam Scott is?
I can look him up.
Adam Scott, I think his name is. He was in Parks and Rec at one point.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. the love interest of but I forgot her name.
Oh, yeah.
Amy Poehler.
Yes. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I see your show here too. Okay.
Severance. Yeah, it's a crazy show. It's in season 2 right now, but if you start watching it now, you can binge watch it. It'll break your mind. It's a really cool, fun show that Ben Wyatt. Yeah, so you guys should watch it. Just watch it because it's crazy.
I set that up for later.
The game is so the show is so good that I wish I never would have found it so that I can start watching it now as new. Because I'm like, man, I envy anybody who's watching this show at the beginning because it's just so good. So yeah, it's a really good show. Recommend it. Other than that, I'm opening my own Etsy shop. So you guys can visit my Etsy shop at Mike Odyssey. It's there. It's the only Etsy shop that looks like a Nintendo YouTube channel. Because everything, when you look at the Etsy shop, it's just my banner and my face there, and then there's Mike Odyssey. I have some things that I'm working on because I have a 3D printer, some art stuff that I'm working on, and I'm gonna go ahead and post there, so you guys can trying to get another revenue stream coming into the house, right? Using the talents, and so stay tuned for there. I'll probably move all my t-shirts there too because it's so much easier to manage and to kind of. So yeah, go ahead visit my Etsy shop. I don't have it in the description yet, but pin it. and
I've already put Mike to work because I'm like, okay, these are the little statues that I want. And I already ordered like 5.
Yeah.
He knows that he has to make them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm first in line.
Yeah.
I'm
kidding. So
I have asked Mike to make me little statues now.
New statues. So this week, that working a lot on Indie Mania. We have a things are moving forward with that. Paul Gale knows we have Joycey on the team also. She's gonna help us curate some games and to get the show on the road and looking good. And so yeah, that's it. Just spend time with the family, just kind of relaxing and happy because it is the beginning of spring spring break here for us, which is super awesome. And then shout out to
work on Monday.
Jimzo with the $1 Australian. Thank you so much for your Jimzo. If you had a question with that, go ahead and write it down because maybe you had a question with that and didn't come out. Sometimes I do that. I super chat a question and it doesn't come out right away. So if you did have a question for that, then go ahead and ask it and we'll go ahead and answer it right now for you. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. Again? And also a shout out to Boo Mini who gifted a membership too.
What? It didn't come up. What's going on here? Boo Mini. Where are you, Boo Mini? You.
One gifted membership.
I don't see. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Boo Mini. Thank you, Boo Mini. Boo Mini, you are the honorary podcast co-host here at the Odyssey. So whenever you want to come on stream, you are welcome to share and go ahead and then you and Joycey can sit on your soapboxes and just kind of complain about everything that you're not happy with. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll talk about why Zelda Twilight Princess has to be remade from the ground up, and she'll battle me talking about why Ocarina of Time needs to be remade.
Yeah, and because it's wait, you said Ocarina of Time remake? You said
she wants an Ocarina of Time remake. She talks about it often, Mini, and I always want the Twilight Princess remake because I think Twilight Princess is the one.
I agree with you both.
Yeah, me too.
Both get it.
Me too. Yeah, I mean, it's just a win-win situation, right?
All right. When Mike and I are in Texas, we'll get right on that. We'll let Doug. Well, I'm sure Doug will be there. Sure, we'll just let him know. Like, hey, get on that. Boo Mini said so.
All right, because Boo Mini said so. All right, so my friends, today we got something to talk about. We know we are only how many days away, Paul?
26 days away.
26.
Woo!
That's insane. That is crazy.
It started at 76. It just flying by.
My birthday is in less days than the Nintendo Direct.
That's just, man, that's insane.
You know what's a good way to sometime wrap your head around time?
Uh-huh.
The Super Bowl was 26 days ago.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang, wasn't that like last week? That's how fast time flies.
That's crazy.
And people were all talking
does feel
about
like
it,
last
the dance off, the show, the boom, boom, boom. I'm like, there we go.
February just flew by. So March is going to fly by too. We're already at March. This is March 7th already. 7th. Yeah. Okay, so we got from yesterday 3 weeks, 4 weeks left.
You know what else it feels like?
Huh?
Paul was talking about the Super Bowl was 26 days ago. I sometimes I look at time when it's time to pay bills, because it's like, didn't I just pay this? I just paid that. Why do y'all want more money? Oh, it's a new month. That's right.
That's true too.
So that's another way to look at it. That's why time sometimes goes by fast.
That is funny. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of distracted. I'm looking at the chat here because I have a new monitor, guys. You know, my blindness, so I can look at you guys' beautiful faces in Texas. And so, what is this gold thing on top of the thing there? It says gold plus bullseye. I've never seen that before in my life.
If you want to create goals for the chat, they can super chat in a certain amount. If you want to do a stream goal. So if this was switched to a Switch 2 giveaway or something like that, you wanted to just give one away, you could do a goal stream. Everybody who sends in a certain amount, and we hit this goal of, if you want a Switch 2 that I'm giving away at this moment spontaneously, super chat in this many, and we'll draw from those names, or we'll draw from the chat. You can make the goal anything you want.
Oh, so it automatically sets the goal, and it notifies you when the goal has been met?
Yeah, but I think you have to set up what you want the goal to be.
Okay. That is super cool. I never knew about that. It's crazy. You know, that's when people, you know.
And then also, like I said, it works for the stream too, because then if you all would like to be a part of the conversation, and not just wait for your questions at the very end of our podcast, you can super chat in. And if Mike has a goal there, that makes it even better. So then we can hit a goal, and you can be part of the conversation as we go along.
That is interesting. I'm going to do it right now. I'll host a Q&A. I will host a Q&A. I'm going to put 10 questions. I'm going to look for a fourth co-host to the chat, to our podcast today. So anybody who super chats in, that person will be the can contribute to the topic, ask your question, and that question will be part of the conversation. Just like always, right? And just to test this out. And so I'm going to put here 5. It says light blue, $2 super chat. So yes, if you do a $2 super chat with your question or even topic, we can go ahead and talk about that as well. So we'll try it out.
So if you all want me to get on my Zelda soapbox, which is always readily available, just saying.
I did it. I never knew about that, so I'm just testing it out as we go. But yeah, we got a goal here for. I just put 5. But the goal ends. Yeah, look, it has a timer. The goal ends in 1 hour.
Woo!
So right now you have 1 hour to. There's only 5 spots, by the way, to become part of the podcast by just creating a topic that you want to hear about. Switch 2, any particular game. Nintendo Switch 2 game, or Switch 1, Zelda, Joy CJ, Paul Gale, Mike Odyssey. It can be anything you want. And so We can get 5 co-hosts on the chat on the podcast. This is fun, right?
So if I super chatted, can I pay for somebody's spot?
You can.
Ooh.
You can give it to somebody and say, hey, okay, I'm gonna give this spot to so and so.
I'll let y'all know who I choose after we hit goal.
Awesome. All right, so right now we are talking about Nintendo Switch 2 expectations. We are only a couple of weeks away from knowing it all, right? Well, it's all we've seen so far is just the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal trailer with the system itself, the hardware. We know nothing about the hardware other than it has magnetic connection, has a bigger screen, anything we can see physically, right? We know nothing internally, like the hardware. The internals, what kind of memory it has, the UI. It's all still is for the goal. Thank you, Joycey.
For the goal.
Shout out to Joycey for the goal.
So, if you have any questions, Joycey, make sure you type it in the chat.
Okay.
So we have we're gonna go over the expectations today for the podcast. Not for the podcast, for that Switch 2 presentation, right? And we got certain topics inside those expectations. The first one is, what are your expectations for the actual show in regards to launch titles? Like, what launch titles do you want to see? Okay, do you want to see there? And if you don't see those launch titles there, it doesn't not that you're disappointed, but man, missed opportunity, right? For a launch title for Switch 2 at this moment. Let's go ahead and start with Paul. Paul, what are your expectations when it comes to launch titles that you want to see available on Switch on day one? Because I'm pretty sure they got more than one this time around. Last time they had Nintendo Breath of the Wild, Snipper Clippers, right?
They published, but I guess that counts.
Yeah, Snipper Clippers was more digital, like a digital game, right?
Yeah, and that was fun. 1-2 Switch was a fun little side one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'll be very honest. When Switch 1 launched and I saw Breath of the Wild, I was like, I don't need none of them.
That was it. Yeah.
I don't need that. Just blinders. Just hours of watching Treehouse, the Nintendo Treehouse footage.
Yeah. and I'm thinking, for a lot of people, if it's Mario Kart, if that Mario Kart comes up, that's all they need for a while, because that's all they're going to be playing for until whatever comes up. So what games would you like to see at launch?
I'm going back to the original thought I had was either a Mario Kart and a Metroid, or Metroid and Mario, if Metroid is a multiplayer focused game. And if it's Mario Kart, that kind of leads me to thinking Metroid's not going to be a multiplayer game, because they wouldn't want to have two big multiplayer games competing with each other at launch.
Makes sense, yeah.
So I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to serve as a dual launch hybrid, or a cross-gen / dual launch for Nintendo Switch 2. It'll come out for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 on the same day. And unlike most games where it's just one cartridge that might have a new little sticker added, also playable on Nintendo Switch 2, I think there might be a Nintendo Switch 2 specific release for this game, because due to how long it's been in development, I think that, this is just a guess, right? This is just a guess.
Yeah.
That partway through development, gears shifted, and it was we need to start developing 2 different SKUs to really maximize this one for the next hardware, and that's going to take extra time, and not just we'll port it along the way, but let's really utilize the new system's hardware that is extra boost of power and everything. So I think we get Metroid Prime 4 Beyond as a launch date game, Mario Kart crossover, or 10 or 9 or 11 or whatever you want to call it, and maybe some small new IP, or something classic that's just a small side 99 version of something, like a Punch Out 99, you know what I mean, or a Duck Hunt 99, like something like that, small enough that incentivizes people to go the NSO route. Maybe this something in the size of a Snipper Clips, but it would be locked to NSO.
Yeah.
That's just an idea, because they didn't have Nintendo Switch Online with their paid membership when Nintendo Switch launched. It came like 18 months in or something like that. So that's sort of a guess. That, and I think also at launch, it will be a new tier added to NSO classic consoles, and that will be GameCube.
Awesome.
And I think that'll differentiate it between Nintendo Switch. And I don't think that GameCube will be available on the base Nintendo Switch. I think it'll be exclusive to NS2, once again, to differentiate, because it's more powerful. It's going to take up more system memory, take up more bandwidth, a bigger file, whatever. And maybe it will be an extra tier, like a little bit more pricey. And eventually in that tier, it'll be, and more to come, including like maybe Sega Dreamcast or Sega Saturn down the way, Wii, DS, I don't know. But I think, to keep it short, or to recap, I should say, Mario Kart, Metroid Prime 4, some 99 version game that is given to you for being an NSO member, and the launch of a new classic console on that first day, but only for NS2 via a new tier. Yeah, that's pretty good.
You think they'll separate it, called NS2O, 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 and then NSO?
I think it'll still be Nintendo Switch Online, but you're right, like Nintendo Switch 2 Online, I don't think so. Probably still Nintendo Switch Online, and maybe it'll be like a Nintendo Switch Online Plus, or
so
Switch Online parentheses Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. The long run, there will be things that Nintendo Switch can't do anymore, NSO related, probably, if they keep pushing the envelope.
Like NSO, like Nintendo Switch 2, a Nintendo Switch expansion pack to the expansion pack.
Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo Switch 2 Select.
Edition.
Nintendo Switch 2 Edition.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And I went ahead and highlighted this here, which shows the entire year. Right now, we're only focusing on those first four games here, because on Nintendo Switch, we had those 4 launch titles that were available on day one. Although Nintendo Switch is not a title, that's the system. But 3, right? 3 had 3 games there. We have Breath of the Wild, Snipper Clippers, or Clippers Nippers, and then we have one, two Switch. So what do you think, Joyce? What games, besides a new Zelda game, would you like to see on day one?
There's life outside of Zelda games. Not familiar. Not familiar. So all seriousness. So here's my thought process. So I agree with you guys I agree with Paul about Metroid Prime 4, because I think that's going to be, in fact, I don't know if they'll end on Metroid Prime 4, but it's going to be there. It's going to be a big deal. Because I think that's going to be a cross-gen game, because I promised it for the Switch. So I think that's going to be the cross-gen game. And I think, this is just what I think. I think the Switch 2 is going to kind of show off whatever's crispier or prettier or graphic-wise or whatever for Metroid Prime 4, but still not leaving the Switch 1 audience out, right? And then I think we're going to be looking at a Mario game. I think this might be the closer. I'm going to fill in the middle in a minute, but I think closer is going to be the Mario game.
Yeah.
If it's but this isn't exactly the most traditional of directs, so I could be way off. But I think Mario's going to close it because I know everybody's saying Mario Kart, but I kind of feel like that 3D Mario would make I think they'll both be a big splash, but I feel like everybody's missing out on a new 3D Mario because not a majority of people like and enjoy and play Mario games. I don't know and as huge of a big seller as Mario Kart 8 is, I feel like, or Mario Kart 9, I feel like they can push it back. Like we don't need it day one, but probably that'll probably be in my year lineup. That's just my personal opinion.
But so you could be right too,
Mm-hmm. Because it's Mario, I think we can all agree that we're gonna go ham like regardless. Because it's new Mario, so it'll be whatever this next generation's Mario looks like. And I think 3D Mario is one to say, doesn't everybody want to play, kind of reel us in? Doesn't everybody want to buy a Switch 2 and play the new Mario Kart or Mario 3D Mario? And then later in the year, but we'll talk about that later. So that's two of the big ones. I do think if they're because Zelda did so well for them the first time, I think there will be a mention of something Zelda. I don't know if we're going to get anything release timing yet, but I do believe there's going to be a Zelda mention of something. There could be a port remaster. I don't think they're going to give us anything new this early because they don't plan on releasing anything new this early. So I do think it's a good time for a new IP. Because we're getting all this other new stuff, getting new system, and they're gonna want to. I guess my thing is, depending on what the gimmick could be for the system, I'm like, well, what game could fit the gimmick other than it's a beefier Switch, so your games are going to be crispier. You know what I mean? So I don't know what. Yeah, extra crispy. Nintendo's take on horror games or something. It'll be something new that we probably haven't seen before by them, and I would like that. I do think, and with the exception of MP4, all my guesses are Switch 2 exclusive, with the exception of Metroid Prime 4. And then we're going to have some third party. Now, the third party, in my opinion,
we're not there yet. Joyce, we're not there yet. Just the first.
I thought we were talking about day one.
Yeah, no, yeah, they won for first parties. For first party.
You didn't say first party. I thought you just meant day one launch period. My bad.
Okay, go ahead and segue to that part, and we'll start with you.
Okay, we want to set, but you didn't get yours in. I'll wait.
No, it's okay. Mine are very, 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 very.
Oh, okay. So the way that a certain third party devs have been talking, my bet is for the one of the ones that's going to help show off the system. Is either probably a Final Fantasy, because Square Enix is just I think they really want to tell us something because they won't shut up, which is a good thing. We're so excited to bring everything to the system of families for Switch,
right.
Things like that. Pipe Dream, GTA 6, but I don't think that's going to be announced in a direct. So those are my guesses. And remind you, that's not a lot, so there's still a whole lot more we could fill up with all that.
Yeah, for real, because we have this is only for day one. Then we're going to move over to the first year. What games we want to see on the first year for Nintendo Switch? They'll definitely be there on the first year for us. I think you could be right when it comes to the launch title. I know they showed us Mario Kart during their presentation, but maybe that's not on day one. They just showed it to us, right? Who knows? That they did show that game in the trailer, but maybe this is show a game, right? We don't know
what they showed in that trailer didn't even look polished. I'm like, that's not a finished game.
Maybe it's not even a game. It's just Mario Kart. Just so we can see the screen on with Mario Kart on it. You know what I mean? And so we'll find out. Maybe Mario, because of Mario's 40th anniversary, maybe that the launch title is Mario, right? And that's we jump in with 40th anniversary with Mario. Although Mario Kart is a Mario game, but
it is. I'm thinking of what's going to grab the full attention of the audience. And since a lot of them just, Mario Kart technically came with most bundles, people are kind of already have that in a way, but what they haven't really seen is a brand new, with the exception of Mario Wonder, they haven't seen a brand new 3D Mario. And a lot of that is good to convince people who already have Switch 1 to buy a Switch. And then of course, when the real marketing goes out, apart from us in the direct, and goes out, that's going to get people's attention. Oh, there's another Mario. Oh, there's a whole new system. Okay, I'll get right on that and buy that. Not even paying attention the way we are. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Mario Kart, when we get into it later, Mario Kart down the line.
I mean, Mario Kart here wasn't a launch title. It was on the following month actually. It was April 28th was the next. So it's a launch window. I think that yeah, we'll definitely have a Mario game for launch at launch, either Mario Kart or brand new 3D Mario. I think we'll have a game that demonstrates what gimmick they have, right? What's the new gimmick? We saw the mouse feature. Maybe that's the new gimmick, right? And so maybe there's a party game where you use the mouse feature, that kind of demonstrates what the mouse is for. Maybe you can use it in a Mario game. They'll use that, right? But I think there'll be a specific game like 1-2 Switch was there to demonstrate how the new Joy-Cons worked, right? And so I think a launch title, I'm not sure if it's gonna be 3, 4, 5, 6 Switch because the other one already came out, right? There will be a game.
5, 6 Switch.
WarioWare would be a good one because WarioWare is all about, tilt it, tap it, shake it, push it, and like here you've got like
pop it,
shake the controller, twist the controller, push the button, put it on the side, rotate this way, and like WarioWare would be a good showcase kind of title.
I agree. I think they should not do any more of these 3, 4 Switches or something like that. They should just kind of theme them all to Wario because he's good with the mini games too. And so yeah, a game specifically to show off the new gimmick or whatever the new cell is on Nintendo Switch. We all know they're going to be Joy-Cons. They attach magnetically. The button layout is very similar. What else do the Switch bring? What else do the Joy-Cons bring to the party? Well, we saw the mouse feature, and we might see something else. Maybe there's something else in there that we have not yet heard of that will be part of this game. We have 3 games here, and of course, Metroid Prime 4, which is still a Nintendo Switch game. But since we haven't heard anything from that game, and since. And we have the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct happening there. I think I agree with Paul. That game is going to be that game is going to be there at the Switch 2 Direct. Switch game. Switch game. But the selling point is going to be Switch 2, like because of the graphics, because of the power, whatever the game brings to the platform. Like you were saying, Joycey, the prettiness of it to look at how pretty it looks.
I hope they do it side by side. I really do. I want them to do it side by side. But then that's like technically kind of throwing shade at their own system.
Right, yeah.
But it encourages people to buy the new one. And if you don't care, there's still the Switch one is still out there. That's all I'm saying.
They can do it in a way that still makes both games look good, but say, hey, if you play here, you have this extra. You know what I mean? So hey, this is the great thing. It's like when they present iPhones. They present the cheaper iPhones first, right? And then they say, "Hey, the amazing this is beautiful." Blah 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 blah. Next iPhone Pro, the Pro edition, right? They're not throwing shade at the older iPhone. They are presenting. You get all of this plus this, So call now 1-800-555 blah 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 blah. Wait, there's more. So they could still show Metroid Prime for the Nintendo Switch and say this is the Switch version, but now let me show you the Switch 2 version. What does this bring? And wait a minute. So you're telling me that this and this boss fight or this extra level or this extra feature or this extra weapon, whatever is on Switch 2 or Switch 1 no multiplayer, but Switch 2 has multiplayer. There's ways they could
differentiate. I know what you meant. Wait. Wait. If you buy it on Switch 2, you get it. You get a what was it? The top of the pot shield and a ladle. Wait, I think it was y'all Zelda fans remind me, was it Age of Calamity when it came out? If you bought it on on day 1 or something, or you got you got DLC from I think Breath of the Wild, you get like a free like pot ladle or something like that, so you can bang over the heads of enemies and stuff. It was something like that. Somebody will remember.
Oh, yeah.
But
So what happened?
Joyce, you need a nap. Okay, go ahead. No, please continue. I'm just losing my mind over here.
Yeah, so basically that's what's gonna happen. If they do have Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch 2 presentation, or they could not have it at all.
Oh, Mike, actually, no, seriously. I think if this all turns out to be true, the gimmick could be that it's a first person. Isn't first person shooter the ones that people like to play with PC and mouse?
First person shooter only shoots a hands and a gun.
So, but we've always been able to play with our controller. So, but if you want to Switch 2, you can use your Joy-Con as a mouse. Maybe that's the gimmick. And that's what's going to encourage people to say, oh, I want to buy Metroid Prime 2 or 4 on the Switch 2. I don't want to get it just for the Switch. I don't want to play with my controller the way I've been doing it for 8 years.
I feel like they're gonna introduce a third way of playing, the traditional way, right? And they might introduce a new keyboard.
That's kind of what I was saying.
That way, we get those PC players who love to play on their keyboards and the mouse together. Every game you're able to play with the keyboard and the mouse on the Nintendo Switch 2. Other than just of course you get the traditional way, but this is an additional way of playing with the keys. It'll be cool because I know a lot of shooters. There's a big audience who loves playing on keyboards, and that audience has been left out of the majority of consoles. And you could bring him in, at least in the Nintendo side, with the Nintendo Switch keyboard, and the mouse feature, right?
But see, here's what Nintendo will do. They'll make it so you don't necessarily need a keyboard, but they will make it keyboard functional because Switch 1 is keyboard functional.
Yeah, so as an accessory. So you have 3 ways of playing. You can play traditionally with your controllers. You can play with one controller like this and the mouse, or you can play with the keyboard and the mouse.
Mario Paint at launch. That could show off.
Yeah, the mouse.
I wouldn't do Mario Paint at launch. But I would put it in one of the directs afterwards. When I think the April 2nd launch, because they're trying to launch they're trying to convince all of us who probably got 3, 4, 5 Switches already that we need to buy another one, and then they got to convince us to buy the games. So I'm expecting a lot of heavy hitters. And Paul, I'm sorry, I'm not fussing at you.
Oh no,
I think Mario Paint is a lovely game. I just think it would be a little bit later down the line to push the mouse functionality.
You're also pulling Pokemon fan through a roller coaster of emotions. Like, Mario Paint, oh my god, so awesome, yes! And then Jason's like, no, dang it.
I'm sorry, Pokemon.
Sorry.
What's that other game you like, Pokemon fan, other than Pokemon? I forgot. Tamagotchi Life. Can we do anything with mouse? Can we do anything with mouse and keyboard in Tamagotchi Life?
It was hilarious just seeing Pokemon fan react towards everything we're saying, and all of a sudden Jerry's like, "Nope."
Yes, and then shattered.
I am so sorry. I hope we get a really awesome Pokemon remake or something that's coming. Pokemon fan, I'll go sit in the corner.
But anything can happen when it comes to first party games. Nintendo Switch. There's first party games now. First party games in the year. What games? This is a little easier now because here we have a broader. Right now we're showing off the entire first year of Nintendo Switch games. Okay, and if you want, you can put in your third party games in there as well. So what games would you definitely see from Nintendo and third party in year one? Joycey, what do you think?
I think personally Final Fantasy is coming. Which one? I don't know. But Square Enix has just been, I almost wonder if Nintendo had to call them and say, I need y'all to calm down. Don't tell them what's coming to Switch 2. Because they seem so excited to want to bring us something. And I think that's something that could also show off the hardware. Mm-hmm. Another guess of mine that will also show off the hardware is if this is a pipe dream, but what if Monolith Soft what have they been cooking? I know we're getting Xenoblade Definitive Edition, right? But that's a remake, or
yeah, that's from it's coming back. That's only for Switch. That's for Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Which that's the point I wanted to differentiate those out again, because I think on Switch 2, Monolith could either. I don't know if it'll be Xenoblade, but it'd be nice if they showed off something new. Because anything Monolith touches, literally turns to gold. So I think those could be two big. I don't know if that really counts as third party.
Mm-hmm.
A big surprise because Nintendo, they have stake in it.
Xenoblade is first party. Yeah, it's kind of first.
It's Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a first party or a third party?
First party.
That's a first party. Okay. So I had Final Fantasy, and then I already picked another surprise, but that would be first party. The big surprise, because I don't think it's going to happen, at least not until maybe even the end of Switch 2's lifetime, is, and it will also show off the Switch 2, Bayonetta 4. That's my other pipe dream.
Okay.
There's no rumors or anything out there. I'm always going to pray for Bayonetta 4.
Yeah, I think Bayonetta is still a strong franchise that will not go away anytime soon, and will show up any moment. It's one of those franchises that just show up. You can't expect it. You won't hear any leaks from it. It'll just show up.
I'm concerned because Hideo Kamiya is no longer at Platinum, but a lot of the talent that worked on the Bayonetta games are no longer there. Yeah. But because she's now a Nintendo it girl, I'm like, I know Nintendo will at least throw money at it and like, okay, try to save it and see how this one works out. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And of course, somebody already said it, but I'm gonna say it too because we all hoping for it. I think Silk Song is legit coming, and I mean for real. I mean for real this time.
Do you think that in the first year of Nintendo Switch, right?
I do think it'll be the first year because this is my reasoning because. Silk Song, in my opinion, will sell well on really any platform, but what will it probably sell the best on?
Yeah.
Switch 2 or the Switch period, right? The family of systems. So I think that Silk Song's actually probably been done for a while, but they've been waiting on Switch 2 because that's where you're going to pick up they're going to pick up all of the players that played Hollow Knight on Switch 2. Switch 2 is good for those kind of games because it's probably another 2D, a Metrovania type game. And then everybody who are on the other consoles that are waiting for Silk Song, we're probably going to find out the same day, that they're coming to PlayStation. It's coming to PlayStation and other PlayStation. So I believe it because those kind of games do well on Switch too. Switch period.
Speaking of, I believe. What do you think about and this goes for Paul and for Joycey. What do you think about the new Shrek animation? The new Shrek models.
I didn't see it.
Shrek 5. There's a new trailer out there that is showing Shrek 5, the new models. Zendaya is now part of the show of the movie as a teenage daughter from Shrek and Fiona, and so the Shrek models are out there. We'll talk about that later on, but over to Paul. Year one expectations for Switch 2 games, first party and second party and third party, maybe fourth party too.
Gosh, I think you can't avoid the fact that it's Legend of Zelda anniversary year. It'll turn 40 by the time the first year is up, because if we get the system in June, Zelda's anniversary is next February. That is in the first 12 months. So we get something pretty big from Zelda in the first 12 months of Nintendo Switch 2's life. If it is something more grand, like I think grand would suffice as a full-blown remake of a 3D Zelda game such as Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess. That I think is grand. I think epic is a brand new Legend of Zelda game built from the ground up. I think that's too early to get the next proper 3D Zelda. Something cool is, at least at the bare minimum, satisfying people's desires of port over Wind Waker HD and just make it in 4K as an alternate.
Yeah.
Releasing it on the base Nintendo Switch. Release the regular Twilight Princess HD, maybe in 4K on NS2, but as 1080p version on Nintendo Switch, and like that's it. It's a little bit on the boring-ish side. It's a little too tame for the 40th anniversary of now one of your most powerful and best-selling franchises, thanks to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I think they do something bigger. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is like a remake or something. And as I said on the podcast before, more time will have passed between Twilight Princess on Wii U and now than it did from the GameCube Wii release to the Wii U HD port. So like, it won't seem significant if you just port that same 10-year-old game. It already was 10 years old the first time around. So
yeah.
Something's going to happen, I think, within the first year. Like by June 27th, 2026, we get some type of remake of a Zelda game. So that's going to be there. Some Microsoft support. I think it's going to be pretty crazy when you see Halo Master Chief Collection or a Gears of War compilation. Here's Gears of War 1 through 4. Maybe Rare Replay. I could see like Rare Replay being there. That's a pretty safe bet. In year one, whatever new Call of Duty will be out this November, that'll come out on Nintendo Switch. I think EA is very interesting because they commit early and then they essentially lie. They're going to come out on Nintendo's Wii U system and be a tremendous partner. We have amazing, leadership and great relations, and then they do almost nothing. Oh, we're really confident with this next system, and then on Nintendo Switch, they hardly do anything. So you've got to be a little bit careful in the past based off of what they said and how they ended up delivering, and maybe not a lie, but unfulfilled promises. Liars. And that could be. I think they meant good to make right by what they said as they said it, but just didn't work out for them. So essentially, it's like people perceive it as a lie. To clarify that. But they're coming out so strong early on now when we barely know anything. So I am giving them more credit than in the past. Even though you fooled me once, shame on you. You fooled me once, twice, shame on me. A third time, really? If they would do it again, this would be like, dude, that's the last straw. That's 3 generations in a row. You have no excuse now. So I think we will get Madden on Nintendo Switch. I think we will get their sports games early on, and that's going to be something that we haven't seen since Wii U. And for many people, that's going to be very big. Maybe Madden, in how you draw your plays out ahead of time, where you have your receiver go here and you have your wide receiver go here and you have your boom, boom, boom. Like, part of the playmaking when you're playing is anonymity. Anonymous. I mean, not anonymous. Privatized. You're not showing your play. So that's why you have like what play you want as a button mapped control, right? If you're playing couch co-op, maybe that's more function of the mouse con is you draw your play out. You draw with the mouse where you want characters to go. Yep. And stuff. So anyways, I'm just seeing some support by Madden in those regards. I'm seeing Call of Duty, a bunch of stuff from Microsoft. Yeah. And then without saying too much, you could expect third-party games of the Japanese and European variety to show up on Nintendo Switch too. Because since I know of a few third parties that are on board, I don't want to guess certain games, because even though I don't have direct knowledge of games, I know companies, and by me guessing a game, that would show off what company I kind of know is already on board. And some of them are kind of obvious because they've already said things, but like, I'll cut that out.
I would say knowing companies that are working on games is not really considered a spoiler or even a leak. I think saying the game that's coming out, or even information the game that's coming out, right? But saying, "Oh, I heard Ubisoft is working on this for Switch too," like I know they are, right? Because I'm part of their partner program. But I know of a game. I just don't know. I know of a game. I'm not saying the game. I know they are talking about working on Switch 2, but they're not. I'm not gonna say the game that it is. So you can spill the beans, man. You can spill the beans, man.
All right.
Shout out.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Jesse.
That's exactly what I was gonna do. Go
Yeah,
for
go
it.
ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna just say shout out to Demonic Brawler. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat. And he says, I think it's safe to say Switch 2 will get
Tony Hawk
Skater 3 and 4.
Yes.
That's what I was wondering what it was. Now I agree.
So cool. And that's got Doom Guy in it. And speaking of Doom Guy, I think the next Doom game will be a release on Nintendo Switch 2. Well, hopefully. I'm looking forward to that because the last two Doom titles were really good. Yeah, it's going to be a very solid first year because this system is closer in power to PS5 and Xbox Series than Nintendo Switch was to PS4 and Xbox One. So as a result, and also on the good faith of the fact that Nintendo Switch was so successful, third parties are far more inclined to jumping in early and not releasing things 6 months late. So yeah. Party wise, I do think that a potential November release could be Monolith Soft's next big new IP. We've seen that artwork of that woman holding the sword for years.
For real.
And that could be like, here Nintendo satisfies the action adventure crowd with Zelda, perhaps more adventure than action. Here's their new IP from the scratch, from the get-go. That's not a turn-based RPG that is RPG-like in story, but is a action game in terms of delivery. That's not held by Sega, which is the owners of Bayonetta, but their own new baby. And that could be a big November title. Or a Donkey Kong. Like, I would be very happy. Two polar opposite types of games that I'm envisioning. But I'd love to see a new Donkey Kong because with the movie, with a theme park, a new 3D DK sounds fantastic in the first year. And it could be very different than Mario in terms of 3D gameplay. But then I don't think we get Donkey Kong and a new Mario at the same holiday. That's too close. But yet at the same time, I could see Mario and DK in the first 12 months. Just they wouldn't be back to back. Maybe one would be November and one would be May. Oh, there you go. That's a new idea. Donkey Kong in November, and then in May a new Mario, which would be a month after the new Mario movie.
Yeah.
I'm strategizing live, you know.
Yeah, but that's the thing, that if we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Mario, Donkey Kong is in the Mario universe, and also we're getting that movie. So I'm pretty sure Nintendo want to make sure that those games are out either soon before or soon after the movie drops in 2026.
Between the two, you know.
Yeah.
Those are a game, movie in April, and then May or June the other one. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. For my picks, I'm gonna go with a list that I have here that I'm gonna go show you here real quick, because I think that these games are a sure thing year one. Okay, first game that I'm gonna go with is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Why? Well, it's a top-selling game on Nintendo Switch of all time. 67 million units. It is the game they bundled into every single bundle ever that existed on Switch every single year. Say again?
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to get. I wish we had a thing on here like on Microsoft Teams where you could raise your hand because I hate interrupting you guys. But that's why we do it that way, because we don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
But this, I wanted to just, from what I was rambling on about earlier, I do think Mario Kart is in the launch window or a first year. I just don't know if it's going to be there at the direct. I didn't clarify that earlier.
No, this is a year one for sure. So year one for sure. We're gonna get Mario Kart. I mean, again, Mario Kart is the top system seller of the Nintendo Switch in the era. Right, that's why they made all these bundles, because it is a multiplayer game, it is a party game, it is a family game. It brings people together, right? And so this game also sells systems within a household. For example, Paul playing with his kids, right? They all play Mario Kart. They each need a Nintendo Switch to play with each other, right? Unless they play on the screen on the big screen, but they all play the handheld mode on the road. On the road, then Mario Kart is the game to go, right, Paul? Second game here, Animal Crossing. Okay, this is my my second favorite game on Switch, period. Animal Crossing New Horizon, year one, for sure. It's I think they started working on the second game, on the next game, the minute they finished with the DLC or the updates for the first game, which was a long time ago already. You know, they didn't give us too much updates on Animal Crossing, and so I think that the next one, it'll be a bigger game. I think that it'll be similar, but they will build upon it. But Animal Crossing will be for sure year one. Smash Bros. Ultimate year one for sure. Smash Bros. Ultimate, not too close, but maybe month 7 or 8, right? Zelda game. I'm not saying Breath of the Wild, but a Zelda game. Yes, I think that we will get either a remake or a remaster or whatever. But even listen, when did they announce Tears of the Kingdom? When they dropped Breath of the Wild?
2020? No, 2019.
2019, right?
E3 June 2019, I think.
Yeah, and so ever since then, you know, I mean, the game dropped what, 2 years ago now? Was it 2 years ago?
It was July 2023.
Yeah, it was shown off June 19, and it came out April 23.
Tears of the Kingdom came out in April, or was it July?
April, I want to say.
April.
What came out that July?
Splatoon 3? Or Xenoblade Chronicles 3?
No, Tears of the Kingdom came out in May because it came out like right before or after Mother's Day.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, May 12th.
May 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was around Mother's Day. Because I remember thinking, okay, is Mama gonna have to wait?
And this is the thing. This is the thing. Like, realistically speaking, you think that we are 5 years away from the next Zelda game?
I'm sorry, say that again, sir.
You think we are 5 years away from the next big Zelda game?
No way.
No, they're already working on it.
I'm saying like we're less than 5 years away.
Definitely.
Oh, I think we're less than, because we got the movie coming out. The game, in my opinion, is going to encourage the movie.
So I don't doubt that they show something or they reveal some type of information in the next Zelda game, even if they don't really give us anything. No title, no, you know, we're working on it. Maybe they show Link, they show Zelda, they show something.
I don't know if they're going to do that these days because they don't like having those long gaps. So I don't know if they're going to do that now.
Yeah. But that's not the topic, though. I kind of geared off. It's not.
My bad.
Yeah. I do think there's gonna be a Zelda game year one, but not the next big Zelda game. Mm-hmm. What were we gonna say, Paul?
They made Zelda too powerful to make people wait 4 years or 5 years into the system's life now to release it. You know what I mean? Right, yeah. I think they want to say like, dang, 55 million people that experience Zelda on Nintendo Switch, not counting like, you know, a Link's Awakening remake and Echoes of Wisdom and stuff like that. Like just between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we want the next big, grand, amazing Zelda thing. You satisfy that early by making it a little bit easier on yourself and not having to write a brand new story from scratch and all this stuff, which is through a popular game remake from Ocarina or Twilight, or a little bit longer with a brand new title, which you probably started building in 2022. Like May 2022 is probably when part of the team started making a new Zelda, and the rest of the team was finishing tightening up. Because remember, they said Tears of the Kingdom was done for about a year, and then they were tightening it up. Not the whole 400-person staff was tightening it up. Yeah. Some of that staff went on to start the next Zelda game. So you look at what's 6 years later from May of 2022, you look at it maybe November 2028 as the next main Zelda game, which is why I think a year or two before then, or 2 years or 3 years before then, could be a Zelda remake, which would be 026. It fits pretty well. But then again, that's just semi-educated guesses, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
it's Paul math.
Yeah, it's Paul math.
I like that. Paul math.
I agree. We're gonna get a Zelda game year one. Not sure if it's gonna be. I don't think it's not gonna be the main line. Could be top down. Could be remake. You know.
FYI, FYI, the top-down games are also
I
top-down.
don't intend.
Mike.
I knew what you were gonna say, Joycey, but I also know what Mike meant.
Escúchame, por favor. I have to tell you, the top-down games are mainline games.
Oh, I know. I mean, like when I mean mainline, I mean like the big games, like the big open world, $70 games.
So those are the 3D games.
Yeah. So top down.
Those are the 3D mainline games, and we have the top-down mainline games, and then we have.
So when I say big mainline games and small mainline games, you know what I'm talking about. So shout out to the Mark Brawler. By the way, I still love that profile picture, the best. And for real, I got to agree. Duh. Why haven't we spoken about this before? Mario Maker 3 with the mouse feature. Hello. What other game can Nintendo launch that's better than a Mario game? That's Mario Maker that shows off your mouse feature like Mario Maker.
So I don't disagree with this at all. The only thing about it is I don't know if they're going to do another Mario Maker because I don't think the sales were where they wanted it to be.
Oh,
Mario Maker / Mario Paint. Combine them.
Or
Mario Maker in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So you could make 3D levels and draw your levels or something, or draw your characters to be, well, maybe not draw your characters.
Okay, see, Paul Math, that would do well. If you were to combine them with Mario Paint and then charge $70 for it, oh yeah. I like that, Paul.
Yeah, very big, powerful game right there.
Tell Doug when you see him.
Just draw your own stuff. You don't like using our 8-bit pixels? You don't like using the Super Nintendo style? Draw your own pixels. Oh,
yeah.
Woo.
Using our mouse function on your Nintendo Switch too. I like it.
You want more animations? Draw your own animations.
Or they could put them all in they could put all their animations in there, and we can legally mod them. Oh wait, no, that's still not going to work.
So Mario Maker was a very decent seller for Nintendo in regards to it being a third party, not third party, but more like a sidekick kind of game. You know, like spin-off, right? Spin-off. It sold 8 million units, so that's not too shabby.
But isn't that over for both? It was Mario Maker 1 and 2 in a 3DS version, right?
Mario Maker 2 sold 8 million.
Mario Maker 2 sold 8 million.
8 million units, yeah.
Just that one?
Yeah, just that one by itself. And these numbers are from December 31st, 2022. So I don't even have the latest numbers.
So okay.
Yeah, 8.42 million units as of December 31st, 2022.
I think I was thinking of just Wii U numbers by themselves, because Wii U numbers was 4 million. So okay.
Yeah, Mario Maker 2 on Nintendo Switch sold more than Mario Maker and Mario Maker 3D on Wii U and 3DS combined.
Yeah. So Mario Maker 2 was pretty good for Nintendo. Plus, the level of replayability that game added was insane. I played that game, I think, longer than I played any other game, just because of so many levels people created that you end up going back there and just go playing different levels and different challenges, and it had its own story mode, plus all that stuff. So it was pretty cool.
I liked watching everybody create crazy, insane levels and people trying to beat their levels. That's always hilarious to me, because I'm like, this is like literal hard mode. Harder than hard mode on for Mario. Thank you, Demonic Brawler, again.
Once again, we only have one more to do the goal ends in 9 minutes, and we are 4 out of 5 super chats. Thank you.
Remember, I will decide if I will give mine away.
Yeah,
because I'm already part of the podcast, but I want one of you to be part of the podcast.
Yeah, of course. And Demonic Brawler is officially part of the podcast right now. Paper Mario Maker has as a feature paint and battle. Man, that would be crazy.
Wait, Paper Mario Maker as I'm trying to
Paper
think what
Mario
that
Maker.
looks like. So what if? Okay. So you can make your own paper levels. Is that what you mean, like Demonic Brawler, like that?
like Paper Mario, like the franchise Paper Mario.
No,
but
I know that, but like but Paper Mario Maker. Okay, never mind. Because I'm thinking in my mind like regular Mario levels, and you can make Paper Mario as well. I'm thinking of a full-fledged make your own Mario Maker. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Not only that, but Paper Mario will be a great addition to Paper Mario 3.
Mm-hmm.
As an addition, 3D Mario and Paper Mario, having Paper Mario and 3D Mario added to Mario Maker, and then using the mouse as a feature to create these games, crazy, insane. It'd be awesome. Like if you create your own world, if you build like you paint your own world, adding paint to it, right? You paint your own mountains or whatever, where Mario has to kind of jump over, and your own obstacles or whatever, right? Then or just make your own little power up. Just draw like a little whatever. I'm
gonna draw handbags.
Draw.
Then you can hit all the Goombas with handbags.
Right? And
seriously.
For real. But man, the mouse feature adds a lot of functionality, and I think Paper Mario will be awesome to add as a feature with paint and battle. That's crazy.
All right, Mike sold me.
That is awesome. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
And I'm gonna be right back, y'all. Got something in the oven.
Okay. All right. So what am I doing here? What is this? No. What's happening here? What? This?
You're back now.
There we go.
Don't touch the button until I get back.
All right. So other games that will be, of course, open world Mario, the new 3D Mario will be part of year one. I still think Pokemon, even though we did get, maybe this is the Pokemon. We're also getting a Pokemon Legends Arizona year one for Switch 2. I think that game is a dual release. What else? Pokemon Scarlet. Let's see here. Paper Mario, maybe not. Year one. And I think that's it when it comes to first party. I know we're getting games that are already out on third party support, like Call of Duty. Obviously, going to be there. Maybe day one. Because the game is already out. I'm pretty sure they're just waiting for Switch to launch so they can launch that game there. And a whole bunch of other ones, GTA 6 could be a good big surprise there. I really can't think about any other third-party games. I'm blocked right now. Oh, Final Fantasy, of course, Final Fantasy Remake. Did you think that did they end exclusivity with Sony with the Final Fantasy games, or just remake?
I think Square Enix officially said going forward they had to change their outlook of games in development. So beyond just Final Fantasy, but overall.
Oh wow! Okay, so
moving to multi-console first going forward, which is the way to go.
Yeah,
because games are also costing more and more. That if you used to sell on a 150 million install base PlayStation 2 and your Final Fantasy 10, 10-2, 12 did well and Sony gave you a nice bag, that's fine. But nowadays you've got so many different things. You really want to avoid Steam. You really want to avoid Nintendo Switch, which is powerful in Japan. If Microsoft is willing to give you some money to have it on Game Pass, you want to turn that down too? If the game costs $400 million to make, no. It's a good move. Like, I would love to see Final Fantasy IX come out, and I think Nintendo Switch 2 will probably be, in terms of overall raw power, least powerful of these consoles out. But if developers see enough power in it, they could make the base model in mind for Nintendo Switch and then upscale to PS5 and Xbox Series X. Instead of having to make this version and then downgrade it, make it for the already competent Nintendo Switch 2, and then just add on top to take advantage of other systems' more raw horsepower. But I don't think Nintendo Switch is going to be weak at all, NS2, I mean, because DLSS is going to make up for it. Significant amount of RAM, more than Xbox Series S, so it's going to be right in there of how capable it is. But yeah, throw the FF9 in there too. Like,
For real. I mean, that makes me happy, man, because Final Fantasy is too good of a series to be just kind of just stuck on one platform. And I think from moving forward, I just can't wait to see the sales on Final Fantasy Remake on Switch. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna buy it just to support because I already have it on PS5, but I want to get it on Switch. And so it'll be awesome. It'll be super awesome. And we got the Demonic Brawler here at the Joycey. I'm pretty sure Joycey already responded in the comments. But Super Mario 3 Maker with the Paper Mario feature, create a battle stage and paint it, then pick your power-ups and battle. That'll be cool. It's a cool feature to add. So let's see here. We got that moving forward. We got the launch titles. We have the first year one games. Wait, we gotta do a super chat inside here from Pokemon Fan 33. What about a new 3D Kirby? Yeah, I mean, why did we leave Kirby out? Kirby's such a good franchise and a good seller. I mean, 3D Forgotten Land was amazing, and if they could just take that a step another level up, that would be one of the best Kirby's ever. Because to me, Forgotten Land is amazing. What do you think, Paul?
I could see it. New Kirby, in some regards, either
year one
sequel or 2D. I kind of want it to be 3D. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't want there to not ever be a 2D Kirby game again.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to Kirby kind of being of the ambition of like Forgotten Land going forward, because it was so much fun. That's my favorite Kirby game, and it's 3D. It's not too big, but it's just right.
And it's not full open 3D, but it's kind of like it has elements like a side scrolling, but at an angle, right? It's still you have a lot of movement, but when you play the game, it still has its charm. Like it doesn't have a fully rotatable camera. It's right, kind of right there, right? But it's still 3D, which is pretty cool. It's a good blend for that game.
Yeah.
I didn't think of a new Kirby. That's all I was going to say. I didn't even think about a new Kirby. I didn't think about DK either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I feel bad because these two franchises are great, and we're probably going to see them. And Blue Mini with the $2. Hey, Joycey, we did the 5 out of 5.
So so I was gonna try to pick somebody who. Well, how do we do this? How do you want to do this?
I don't know.
My goal was to pay for somebody who wanted to have a podcast moment. But then we also have Demonic Brawler and Boo Mini who have been holding it down. So
so that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever Mike says.
From now on, whenever for the next topic, right now we're gonna go into the next topic. Demonic Brawler, Boo Mini, and who up? Pokemon 33? Pokemon Fan 33? Yeah, Pokemon Fan 33.
Yes.
They are honorary podcast members. So we'll highlight a question from each, and then we'll make it part of the conversation. Well, how about that?
Yes. Good. So I will be looking for your questions, related to gaming, of course, related to Nintendo, of course, or Nintendo's third parties. So I guess just about gaming. So go back to what I was saying. So please put them in the chat so I can star them and we will talk about them.
All right. So Pokemon fans ready? Oh, cool. Demonic Brawler is ready. And Demonic Brawler is ready. All right. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the next topic. We're talking about, because Paul mentioned it earlier, we celebrated the 8th year of the Nintendo Switch.
And 8 years of Breath of the Wild. Oh,
8 years of Breath of the Wild. That's crazy. And so we made it. We made the full 8 years for Nintendo. And so, of course, this is the year of Switch 2. We will make it to year 9 before Switch 2 comes out. But 8 years is Nintendo's big milestone. The longest console for Nintendo in Nintendo history, I think, of any console, right? PlayStation or Xbox hasn't had a console that long.
It beat Xbox 360 as of March 4th, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want Nintendo Switch 2 to come out before. I didn't want it to come out last year. I wanted it to come out after March 3rd, and it beat it.
There you go. So now we got to pay tribute to this amazing console, and so I'm gonna go ahead and have some questions here, okay, for Nintendo Switch. And the first question is, what was your favorite series on Nintendo Switch? Okay, so this is a line of games that have a sequel on the Switch. Of course, I'm gonna start with Joycey.
Well, you said, well, we want to pay tribute. I just thought about that Sarah McLachlan song. And then just like all these like black and white pictures of all of our favorite games for the last 8 years.
Thank you.
I need to go to bed.
By the way, thank you guys so much for hitting the goal. The first goal ever created on the channel, and we hit it. It's 5 out of 5. So thank you so much for everybody who super chatted in their question and contributed. This is the first time I ever used this tool, and pretty cool.
Okay, what was the question for real, Mike? I'm sorry.
What is your favorite in the entire Nintendo Direct? Give me your top 3 series of games. So games that have had more than one game sequel because we had 8 years. There are games with sequels on Nintendo Switch. What 3 games are on your top list? Okay, Zelda 1, number 2. Can you hear me?
Tell me I was sounding like crap this whole time. I didn't realize my mic was on, but my voice was not coming through my mic.
Oh, okay. Right. You sound better now.
At least I sound better. Anyway, good Lord. Anyway, so yeah, of course, Zelda's my number 1 because I mean, Zelda. I'm gonna say, as far as Nintendo, does it matter if it's Nintendo titles?
Yeah.
Do they have to be Nintendo
Switch
titles?
Yeah, it's the Nintendo Switch we're celebrating.
Well, I mean, do they have to be Nintendo titles, or can they be third-party titles?
Oh yeah.
That were on Switch.
Yeah. Okay. It could be, yeah. It
okay.
Could be third-party.
So, Zelda, as far as games that have sequels, Zelda. God, I like so many games. Of course, I guess I'm gonna put Splatoon in there because we got Splatoon 2 and 3, and it was the Switch era that got me into Splatoon. And I'm gonna go third party because it has a sequel, Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. I will say this from the rooftops for the rest of my life if I have to. You need those games in your life. You need them. Okay, they're very good. Octopath Traveler 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah, they're both
on the Switch.
Yeah.
Square Enix. Just saying.
Awesome. And so you got your 3?
Those are my 3.
Splatoon, Zelda, and Octopath. Awesome.
No, Zelda, Splatoon, then Octopath.
Oh,
Zelda's got to be number 1.
In that order.
Right. In that order.
All right. All right, Paul.
I'm teasing you, Mike.
I know. Paul, what do you think? Your top 3 series of games on Nintendo Switch, or third party or first party?
Zelda has to be 1 because, gosh, it had Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Age of Calamity.
Yeah.
Counting that as a trio. And then you had a remake of Link's Awakening, and you had Echoes of Wisdom, like Joyce was saying, and you had Cadence of Hyrule. That's 6 new Zelda games, and it was the system to have, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and everything via NSO. But like 6 new Zelda experiences. Oh, and then it also had the original Hyrule Warriors, but that one wasn't new at that point. That was ported. But so like a lot. Zelda shined greatest. Mario is one of my favorite franchises, but I don't know if there was enough of new Mario on the system because I'm looking at Super Mario Odyssey. Brilliant game. Love it. I'm looking at Bowser's Fury because I can't quite count all of 3D World, but I could count Bowser's Fury.
Mhm.
And then I'm looking at Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which was also fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, those three are very good. And then, New Super Mario Brothers, Wii U for Nintendo Switch, it doesn't count as like a new one necessarily. But if you start adding in, like Paper Mario, and if you add in Super Mario RPG coming back, or like, is that like, oh no, you can't count that. Well, if I just counted Cadence of Hyrule, then I guess you could count, Paper Mario from GameCube coming back as a remake. I guess you can count the original Paper Mario title made, from the ground up for Nintendo Switch.
I didn't know Cadence of Hyrule was a remake.
No, Cadence of Hyrule was new. I'm just saying, like, if I'm counting like Cadence of Hyrule as a non-official Zelda game, but like a spin-off, I might as well allow myself to count Super Mario RPG.
Any game without limit that came out on Switch, you can count.
So maybe Mario is on my list because it was pretty well represented. I just feel like it didn't get its second Breath of the Wild moment. Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, they're equal. Tears of the Kingdom, Mario didn't get another one of those.
Yeah.
It got Bowser's Fury. It got Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Yeah, it got some other, Mario RPG and stuff. But I think Mario might be his second one. And then, third, we got some single heavy hitters like, Luigi's Mansion, but it was just one. Unless if you want to count Luigi's Mansion as a Mario spin-off, but I think then it's like, that's a little bit unfair because then you count Mario Kart and like, maybe Luigi's Mansion doesn't count as a pure Mario, which it's not, but you know what I'm saying? If you do, then it really does help Mario as an IP franchise more because Luigi's Mansion 3 was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah.
Splatoon had 2 entries. Xenoblade shined quite a bit because it's got everything. It's got 3, which was my favorite entry in the franchise. It had a great port of 1. It had 2 early on, and now it's getting X. Fire Emblem had a couple. I'm going to say Xenoblade. I'm going to say Zelda, Mario, and Xenoblade shined best on Nintendo Switch from first party. And third party, I got to give shout outs to like Doom and to Dragon Ball Z as an overall IP.
And they both got multiple games on Switch, right?
On that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zelda, Mario, Xenoblade, top 3 Nintendo IP this gen.
Yeah, I agree. Xenoblade did pretty well on and you can give Luigi his own spotlight. He deserves his own spotlight when it comes to Mario games. Yeah.
They counted the whole year of Luigi, and they had New Super Mario Bros. Wii U plus like Luigi. I forgot the name of the exact spell. Like so, Luigi that counted as a Mario. So yeah.
Yeah, we also got Luigi's Mansion 2 just recently.
Exactly. That's
So they are really good. For me, of course, I have to put Zelda on top as well. Because Zelda, I think the most impacted I've been by a game on the Switch era was by a Zelda game. Even haven't played the last Zelda I played was Skyward Sword. That was the last one I finished. Even if it came out before, I went back and played it. And I love the fact that it's on Switch, so that I could go back and play that game. After Tears of the Kingdom.
I didn't know you finished Skyward Sword yet.
I did, yeah. I loved it.
We could talk about that.
Yeah, I love Skyward Sword. It became, I would say, my number 3 Zelda game that story wise and emotion wise too. Because
your third favorite. Okay, I'm sorry. Sidebar. I'm sorry. We got to talk about this because I didn't know, you didn't tell me you finished. I'm excited now. What are your first 2 favorite stories? And I promise I will shut up.
First 2 favorite stories. My first favorite.
I can't promise that.
My first favorite story was my first favorite story was the little story with this little guy who is bad and ended up being a good guy. I'm like, I couldn't stand him in the beginning because he was like, he liked Zelda too, and like Link likes Zelda, and we like to have this battle. The guy with the hair.
No, okay. You said that the Skyward Sword was your favorite Zelda story, so I thought you meant that you played.
Oh, I mean, in the game. Okay, I like it. I like I like Breath of the Wild. First favorite.
Okay. So you like Breath of the Wild? Yeah. I'm curious. What's your second? Is Tears of the Kingdom your second one? Your second favorite story?
Second favorite story is, I think it was A Link to the Past. And now that I'm playing, now that I'm playing, I'm playing now, Link Between Worlds. So that is kind of adding to A Link to the Past. Like I just found out about Low Rule. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Was the other Dark World A Link to the Past Low Rule, or wasn't that that's not Low Rule?
That's just called the Dark World.
Yeah, the Dark World, but that was still Hyrule. It's just like a defeated Hyrule, right? Like a dark Hyrule.
From what I understand, from A Link to the Past version of the Dark World, it's basically if what the world would look like if Ganon had gotten his hands on. Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old game. If he got his hands on the Moon Pearl.
Ah, I see. Okay.
That's why you had to go through the Dark World first, like as a bunny, and then you had to touch get the Moon Pearl. Anyway, so yeah. So no, I'm happy. I thought I just if we had bet on this, I would have bet Skyward Sword would have been your favorite because you and I are both like helpless romantics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why I like Skyward Sword a lot because
it's a helpless romantic kind of game.
Yeah, here's Link trying to catch up to Zelda all this time, right? And then when he finally catches up to her,
Impa's tripping.
I mean, really catches up to her, like face to face, finds out that she needs to go to sleep for God knows how long, and then he's like, "No, you can't. This can't happen." All of a sudden, this thing comes up, and she goes to sleep, and you see him that's kind of trying to hit the thing. I can see that like acted with voice acting. I can hear the voices, and then the music there, the music. The music.
I think it's called Romance in the Air or something like that.
So I've heard that music all this time. I was associated with Zelda all this time, but I never saw the power behind it in that scene when that happened, So I was like even more motivated to defeat the stupid worm so I can get Zelda back.
The avocado with toes, yes.
Yeah, that
is
thing
despised by all of us because I was so sick of seeing him. I'm like, again? Didn't we just have this conversation in prison?
Yeah, I love the final battle more than I like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
That's fair.
Yeah, the final battle with Ganon.
Same difference. Demise.
Yeah.
Demise is technically.
Yeah.
I was standing up
Jump in here, Paul.
With the Wii remote.
He was awesome, man. He was Demise.
I'm sorry, y'all. I missed what Paul said.
Oh, I was standing up in the living room with my Wii remote, live acting, like I was doing the whole thing for that battle.
I believe that.
Totally.
Yeah. So I really love that. That, believe it or not, it's Link to the Skyward Sword is so close to being my first story wise.
That's fair. You don't have a wrong lineup or anything. It's not wrong. I was just like, wow, I'm kind of surprised I didn't like bet number one on that would be your favorite Zelda story. But it's cool. I like your list.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you, Boo Mini. Paul Gale Network.
It made me laugh so hard in my mind. Boo Mini tried to buy some Nintendo shirts recently, but the store said they're sold out because of me.
Totally Paul's fault.
Too funny.
And real quick, we also no, go for that one, Mike. And then we had another one from Pokemon fan that I need to read.
The who? When you put your hand in front of the mic like this, John Cena.
We didn't talk about
it blurs.
John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena's awesome now. He's better now. He's good.
Oh boy.
No, there's no going back now. It's finally happened after so many years.
Dang, that was exciting.
It was exciting. It was. It blurs. Yeah. I think that because this red thing here kind of commands the stage more than I do. So every time I put this in front, the camera kind of look at my face.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so I have to have it like next to me so they can kind of. That's not a person camera, okay? This is the person. That's not a person. It's my sidekick. Anyway, so
On Friday nights, I'll just make sure that I get all the laughs that I missed this week. I'm catching them all up now.
Yeah.
Wait, one more.
What was the original topic?
Wait, one more. Pokemon fan, shout out to you for your $2 super chat and thank you. Okay, Paul Math. How long do you think it will take Switch 1 to outsell the PlayStation 2? And do you think it will do so? Paul Math, go.
It will happen by March 31st, 2026. We are barely 12 months away.
Wait, you mean that it will outsell PS2 in just a year?
Yeah. It's already over 151. Very soon, if not now, I could probably ask, and I could.
Okay. I thought I was saying Switch 1. Never mind. Switch 2.
You're looking at 152. 8 million. 8 million in 12 months. Yeah.
Gonna happen. Once that price drop hits, I'm gonna buy myself about 10 of them and give them out on the channel once the price drops, just to help Nintendo sell more.
Would it you know, I kind of like, on one hand, I'm kind of like, no, we should just wait and let it just kind of slowly get up to that 10 million. But on the other hand, I feel like asking every Switch owner, just buy one more Switch.
One more, man. One more. You can do it. You can do it.
Let's just do it just to beat PlayStation. We never get to beat PlayStation. Let's just beat PlayStation once. Come on, y'all. Band together. Buy a Switch and give it out to somebody you love or somebody you hate. I don't care. Somebody out there in your life.
Buy him a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So what was the original? Well, before I said Zelda, why did I say Zelda? Why did we end into Zelda?
That was my fault because anytime anybody mentions anything Zelda, I have to go on a tangent. But the actual topic, let me go see our topic.
The question has. Oh, my top games.
Favorite moments on Switch.
Favorite series, right? Favorite series. Favorite series.
Oh yeah, Zelda was one of them. Okay,
yeah, that was my first one.
Okay, that was your first one. Okay.
I would have to say the next one. My favorite series. Next one. There's only one Mario Kart. So I can't even choose Mario Kart. Multiple games. This is difficult for me because there's more than one. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go with Mario as number 2. Mario's my guy, duh. And then Pokemon. I know there's a lot of stuff, but Pokemon. I enjoyed.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed Sword and Shield because it was a game that brought my daughter and I closer together in one game, right? She was so into Pokemon Sword and Shield at the time, just because I saw she was so into it. I joined her with it, and so she had Sword, I had Shield, and then we were talking about how different they were. They weren't different; they were the same. And so it was fun. Then I got Scarlet and Violet. I didn't have any issues with Scarlet and Violet whatsoever. The other remake, of course, Legends Arceus was awesome. Was fantastic on that one. I wish they could have brought, and I still have faith they could bring at least one more Animal Crossing to Nintendo Switch. At least a port from 3DS, which is the something New Leaf. Yeah, New Leaf. But yeah, I think my top 3 is Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon. When it comes to series, and I enjoyed a lot of those games, especially the last one, especially Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, just because of the story. It had 3 stories in one, and it was one story when you put it all together at the end. So if you haven't played it, that's not a spoiler. It does come with 3 stories. You can play it in any order you want, but in the end, it becomes a really nice, really cool story. So,
and new Pokemon Snap, which is a fun. Throw that one in there too.
Yeah, I played that game like for 2 minutes, and then it was. I have it. I'm like, it fell into my backlog because I think that came out soon after another one. What was the one that came out closer to that one? Something happened and I'm like, wait, this game is out, so I had to jump on that one. I'm gonna go look at the release window here.
If I'm not mistaken, New Pokemon Snap and Bowser's Fury came out close to one.
There you go. Because Bowser's Fury was my favorite Mario game of all time, believe it or not. And
I like Bowser's Fury a lot.
Yeah, 3D Mario, and I like it because it's so open. It's first thing. It is an open world game. You unlock areas, but still, you have the freedom when you catch one of those cat shines, which are the stars. You continue playing. I love that about it. You don't go back into and then jump into another world. I love the Mario game, the traditional Mario games where you go into worlds and then you complete that world and you come out and then whatever. But I love so much the freedom that you get with Bowser's Fury. And of course, the biggest, baddest Bowser the world has ever seen, which is crazy. No Bowser looks even slightly better than Bowser's Fury than Fury Bowser. And that was super cool. Yeah, so those are my top 3 franchises. And let's see here.
You are a man of culture, I see.
Culture.
Culture.
Let's see first about the game. Okay, so now the question is the ultimate first party game. Like the top. What is your favorite first party Nintendo game? You can't say, oh, I like this one, but the other one has to be one on top of the mountain, one champion above all. What game did it for you on Nintendo Switch? What game are you taking with you, like that defined Nintendo Switch for you?
You already know my answer. Do I need to answer this again? Zelda.
Zelda. Well, which one?
So this was my thought process. So Switch is we have the big presentation, whatever that was, December, January, whenever that was, and then they tell us the release day for Breath of the Wild. And at the very, very end, because it just says releasing March 3rd, and that was it. And I was like, I said, let's go. New gen, they got the hardware right. I knew that Switch was going to be a smash. I didn't know it was going to be this big, but it was a smash. Shout out to Nintendo Prime. Thank you, Nate.
Wait, you gotta do that, Nate. Why? 5
Shout out for the 5 gifted members.
I appreciate you, Nate. You're about to have surgery, man. Save your money. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Nate for the 5 memberships, and congratulations to the 5 new members of the channel. Appreciate
I'm a member.
Yeah, remember.
Thanks, Nate.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I love you, Nate. Appreciate you, man. And thank you for the 5. And of course, welcome to the ones who accepted the memberships, including Joycey J.
But so one of my best memories of the Switch era is of course tied to Zelda. But I think about that first Zelda. To me, it was like brand new hardware. Nintendo is not playing with us this time. I felt we're coming for your money. I felt that.
Yeah.
That I saw that, and it was Breath of the Wild and all that excitement, and really to kick off these last 8 years. So I have just such a positive memory of that moment, and finding out that it was when it was coming out. I just had such a positive moment to that memory to that. One of my other favorite memories is probably the way everybody all the players were revealed in Smash. Hello, that's one's Princess Peach, right, Paul?
Yep.
Shout out to Princess Peach getting her subject Paul in line, because you all know, Princess Peach got to run the house. So my next are the way the Smash characters were revealed. They were revealed in several different ways, and one of my favorites was when they revealed Joker at the Game Awards and the way they did it. And I was like, I hope Nintendo does things that are a little bit more, fun a little bit. I would really like for them to show off and really play into the whole thing that when Switch 2 being leaked and everything else early. I would really like for them to play with that for the direct. Like, okay, so let's look at the games that weren't leaked on Twitter, and we'll show those off. Joycey tired, y'all. Y'all know I'm old, tired.
Hey, let's welcome Peach. Is it Peach?
Peach.
Yeah, I knew it. Welcome Peach to the chat.
She's a pug, right?
She's a pug.
She's so cute.
She's in a little crown. She's in a little crown.
Hey, what do you want to say to everyone?
Look at her. Like,
make sure you subscribe to Mike's channel. Oh, that's good. That's nice of you. Nice plug.
Nice plug.
Good doggo.
Oh,
A plug from the pug.
plug from the pug. Okay, bye everybody. I'm gonna go cause chaos now. Okay, bye.
You should have named her Ganon.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Or Hilda.
If I ever get a pet turtle, Bowser.
There you go.
If I ever get 4 turtles, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael.
Of course.
5 turtles, right?
You don't have any other option.
If you ever get a mouse next to that, you can put name him Splinter.
Splinter.
Yeah, well, you'd have to get a pet rat and name him Splinter. Then you'd have to get a pet mouse, name him Jerry, and then you'll have to get a new cat and name him
Tom.
Tom. Yeah.
All the stereotypes, or all the
cartoon characters from our child, technically from our parents' childhood. Technically,
Yeah. You get a lizard, you can name him Dino.
2 more mice.
Mm-hmm.
A lizard, name him Dino because we don't have any more dinosaurs.
I wanted to get a little. They're not pit bulls, but they kind of look like them. I forgot what they're called. They're like really real. They're like the real sweet version of pit bull.
Boxer?
Kind of like, they're not exactly boxers. They're a little bit wider than pit bulls, but they look like pits. Pits are kind of like long and kind of slender and tall. These guys are a little bit shorter and not as long. Similar to that. I gotta find the name. But anyway, I wanted to get one and get a black one, and I wanted to name it Ganon. And then I was gonna get a blonde one and name it Lincoln and call it Link. they could be brothers in the house.
Yeah. Wow,
for the future.
They don't get along. They keep fighting each other. Yeah. So,
but then they cancel each other out if they're living in the same home because there's Ganon and Link, and he would have to live here.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm not putting up with them fighting all the time.
That's it's gonna be something, right? Can you imagine if they start fighting for no reason?
Y'all, we just go off the rails every week. Y'all just gotta work with us.
No, Paul, what's your number 1 game on Nintendo Switch? It has to be number 1, none above that game on Nintendo Switch.
Easy answer, because it's also my favorite game of all time, and that's The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Awesome. Perfect. The
generation and all generation long, I think it's held that crown. Well, no, it has held that crown, but for me,
yeah. So
excellent choice.
Yeah, on my end, there's a tie, but I'm gonna break that tie with what Paul said there. Breath of the Wild is the number 1 game for me on Nintendo Switch. Game of the year. First year came out, it put the Switch on a map. It became a big seller for Nintendo Switch. Defy the odds and put a lot of people to shame when it comes to for the developers who didn't trust Nintendo at the moment or what the Switch could do. And it got me into The Legend of Zelda at another level. I've always been a fan of Zelda, since the 80s, but that game made me a fan that loves the series, right? So there are the casual fans, and then there's those loving fans, and that's when I jump ship and say, you know what, I'm a loving fan now. Zelda's awesome, and I love the entire that's why I'm still playing it now. So that's my number 1 game.
And I promise I didn't threaten him at all.
No, she didn't. She didn't threaten me. All right, so
blink
now
if you need help, Mike.
Okay, what was that?
I said blink twice if you need help. Like I'm holding you hostage. You have to play all these Zelda games.
Before we go into the Q&A, which, by the way, Q&A starts soon. Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and throw a curveball. Okay? Curveball. This curveball is gonna be curvy, and it's gonna be out of the blue. Well, not for Joycey and Paul because they already know, but for everybody else, and it's gonna be a question. Okay, one question. All right, what is the worst scenario for Nintendo Switch 2 Direct? When April 2nd comes around and the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct begins and it ends, what is the worst scenario? What's the worst thing that could happen? Of course, they're going to reveal the system, right? They're never going to cancel it. So they don't show the system. That doesn't count. What is the worst scenario that could happen on that Switch 2 Direct in your book? Yeah, it could be a price. It could be a price. It could be a lack of something. Anything. I'm sorry, Joycey. What's the worst case scenario for you?
Honestly, the worst case scenario for me is, sorry, y'all. Switch 2 is canceled. The Direct is being moved to a date that we will announce in the future. That is the only thing that could possibly go wrong. To me, because
they show another trailer like the first one and said with another date.
That would be what if it okay, so this is my worst case scenario where they release the big 3-minute or 5-minute trailer or whatever, and we're like, oh, that looks cool, yay, blah blah blah, and then at the end it's like, please join us on June 1st for the full price or whatever. That would mess me up. I would be flat out angry.
Well, he said that he will be revealing information in the stages. What if this is just the first stage?
Exactly. But because they said a Direct, guys, I don't mean to we're not trying to put anything negative out in the air. They set a date. They said this is what's going to happen. So, okay. So we're expecting price probably when we're going to be able to order it. Because I feel like I'm also scaring people. So I wanted to say this would just be a terrible scenario, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of this part here is so that we can go ahead and just put the worst thing out there and get it out of the way so it doesn't happen, and then have fun with the subject. That's it. Because have fun with the subject. You can be as creative as you want with what's the worst thing that can happen. I'm sorry, we will have to be canceling the Legend of Zelda series, no more Zelda games forever. Can you imagine?
If that ever happens, I need you guys are my friends, right? Paul, you're my friend.
Yep.
Yeah, I need a vocal commitment to this. So if they ever say anywhere, we are canceling the entire Legend of Zelda series, we're not be making any more games, I want y'all to just go ahead and call the ambulance to my house.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
just call. You don't gotta check on me or nothing. Just send the ambulance to my house to save me. Because I promise you,
Life alert.
I will not have a positive reaction to that at all.
There's a lot of good ones. There is a lot of good ones in the chat. All right, Paul, what is the worst scenario? Don't take it positive. Don't be positive. What is the worst scenario that will make you unhappy by the time it ends? Let's say they reveal a trailer. What can happen that it was just okay? This is what happened to Nintendo? What happened?
If all the rumors that we heard of the specs of the shipping release of this, it's got 12 gigs of RAM, and all that stuff was all BS, all baloney.
Yeah.
Squabble. Okay, that's what BS stands for. Baloney squabble. All right. And Nintendo on the Direct says, and here's our spec sheet: 6 gigs of RAM,
half of everything,
half of what we thought, a whopping 2 more than Nintendo Switch did, and 450 gigaflops. Like, oh no, not your 3 teraflops that you thought. Onboard storage, 128 gigabytes of storage, and let's make it worse. 64 gigs of storage, just like the OLED model. Okay.
Yeah.
And Joy-Cons not included. Something like that.
No, keeping the Joy-Cons attached drains the battery.
AC cable not bundled in with the box.
Oh man.
We're gonna have to build it like we have to build our iPhones. You have to go somewhere else to get the charger, somewhere else to get the case.
Man.
So,
Paul has given me a nightmare.
To be more eco-friendly, only the smallest battery for 30 minutes of portable use.
Man.
But it comes in great colors, though, more than black and white.
Can you imagine if? Yeah, I mean, is that your worst case scenario?
I'm making it up as I go because these are unrealistic. Honestly, the worst case scenario that is still unrealistic, but for me, the worst case scenario of any of those would be they show the spec sheet and it's 6 gigs of RAM, and I'm like, I waited 8 years for the successful successor. And this DLSS thing was nope. And this whole 12 gigs of RAM thing, it's a nope. And it's like 6. And I'm like, that's barely going to be more power. Like, that would be devastating for me.
Yeah.
But I know that's not the case. But somehow, you ask the worst case, they show the spec sheet, and it's just like nothing burger over Nintendo Switch for being 8 years later. That would be hard because Wii was such a shift in development and usage over GameCube, but if you look back, Wii was just marginally more powerful than GameCube. But it was fine because Wii was a revolution. We don't need a revolution right now. We need a very much more powerful Nintendo Switch. They nailed it. They nailed the design. So for me, the crushing blow would be power revealed significantly weaker than we thought, and everything else was baloney, and it was a lie from everything else. Yeah,
that would be pretty bad, very bad.
Now, my realistic ish worst case scenario is they show off the Nintendo Direct, and instead of hit franchises that we love being shown off in ways that we hope to see them, it's like B tier weirder takes on franchises, not in the genre style that the franchise is known for, but a little bit too different. Like, and I wanted Donkey Kong. I didn't want a new DK math game.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted a new Kirby. I didn't want a Kirby that you could only do by rotating your stick around on the ground. Like that's a cool new addition, but like, no, I wanted, like, you know what I mean? Like they went a little bit too far in
the gimmick,
exploratory gimmick.
Yeah.
And not satisfied what we were really hoping next franchise has been elevated to. And it was in kind of like the B tierish sort of thing. Like, oh, we got a new balloon pop. That's cool, but I kind of wanted to see a Zelda and not Ice Climber. No offense to that, but like that's the worst case semi-realistic is that they don't bust out a Star Fox and a cool Donkey Kong and a cool Xenoblade and a cool Fire Emblem. It's that's not powerful. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Don't even ask me this question. I don't feel good. I don't feel good coming up with bad scenarios. But
see, we're creating our own nightmares.
But it's getting heebie-jeebies.
I need something help to.
But listen, it's in the back of everybody's head, right? If it's coming out of your mouth, it's because it's lived in your brain at one point or another. So let's get it out and forget about it because it's not gonna happen. But it's good to get it out.
Yeah, it is.
I'm cuddling my Link amiibo because that was scary, Paul.
Now
Link's gonna have to come for you. Link's coming for you.
Hey, bro, thank you so much for the $2,000. The Switch doesn't support Pro controllers. Can you imagine that?
We know. Well, I don't know if it will, because my thing is they're going to want to sell us on the Switch 2 Pro controller.
Well, we don't know this yet, but according to rumors, Bluetooth controllers are supported all the way through, like the current Bluetooth controllers. So if that's, well, again, in Pulse scenario, none of it works because all the rumors are fake.
I just feel like
only plugged in by USB Type-C to the dock. That's the only way to play Pro controller. No, I want to sit on my couch. I want to sit 20 feet away.
We didn't do that as kids. We sat on the floor.
Man, I don't want to do that again.
Looking up at the TV like this.
Listen. Here comes my worst case scenario.
Oh God.
They keep referring it as the Nintendo Switch family of systems. Okay, it's Paul's worst case scenario. Okay, with on top of it's just an incremental upgrade. It's not even the next gen system. It's an incremental other Switch because they kept the name and everything. They kept the form factor. It's like what they did with the OLED. They gave us a better screen. That's about it. With this one, they just give us a bigger screen, and the magnetic Joy-Cons. And not only that, but the Nintendo Switch says Nintendo Switch Direct to Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. It's only about hardware. They show no game whatsoever, no launch title. They just tell you what's new in the hardware. No game showed off. Like that's it. And it's only like 15 minutes long. 15 minutes long. This is not that unreal. You know what the scary thing about this is? That it's not too unrealistic.
I have another good one.
Shot through the heart.
You're gonna like this one.
Blame.
You're gonna like this one.
Good.
Ooh, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is so good. It's bad. Oh boy, I like it.
I'm scared.
We found the perfect way to satisfy delivering to as many people as possible and avoid scalping. And that is by having a staggered release. Coming first to Japan this June, in the United States this November, to Europe and Australia this May. Oh, that's how you crush the dreams of millions. And that's I'm having fun with this one.
And it's all digital because you're trying to get scalpers out, right? Or even piracy. So no more physical games, all digital.
You won't
Lincoln
have a problem.
Zelda here to protect me from this.
You won't have a problem with a global launch and satisfying millions and millions because you stagger the launch. Only Japan and pump them full of consoles between June and November, US in November, and then May for Europe and Australia, the rest of the world. And it takes 11 months for this system to come out, but nobody has a hard time getting it per territory because they staggered it, That's awful. But it is not uncommon to how NES was handled, Super NES was handled, N64 handled. Part of GameCube, it wasn't until Wii where things were like they're dropping all at once everywhere. If you look back at old history, nowadays they're much better at producing, but that would be a rough one. Could you imagine?
Somebody said in the chat, "Nah, you just get one game per Nintendo account."
All right, listen. I'm gonna go ahead and give people more nightmares. Okay, with this one. Listen. This is gonna stay in your brain. And like, oh no, please don't let it be true. Don't let it be true. And I'm only gonna read this right here. Okay, right there, that thing. I'm only gonna read that and take it to a little in the literal sense. Nintendo Direct, Nintendo Switch 2, April 2nd, 2025, will air on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025 at 6 a.m. Pacific, whatever. Offering a closer look at Nintendo Switch 2. Just a closer look.
Magnified, literally closer. Literally closer, and that's it.
I mean, a closer look, and they'll take the trailer, the initial trailer, and just break it down. They'll just take the trailer, the initial one. They'll talk about all this. They'll talk about this.
Is this a render?
Yeah, this is their official little video they have there. So they'll talk about this.
But is that from Nintendo? The little message on the side.
Yeah, this is the Nintendo website. This is the Nintendo website. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So actually, so that's not a nightmare scenario. That's a possibility.
That's what I'm saying. That the reason why it's a nightmare scenario is because this is kind of close to could happen. They're taking a closer look at the Nintendo Switch 2, and then they're showing you this. And what they're gonna do is not talk about video games, not talk about. They're just gonna talk about the little system right? No release date, no nothing, and just give you another direct for games.
The only thing, well, I guess it's not like they've never had a direct and didn't show games before, so that is a possibility. I just don't see them launching a gaming system and not showing any games.
Because in direct state, they're very specific. They're like, and we have the Switch 2 and its launch lineup, or its launch whatever. No, it's just a closer look at the Nintendo Switch 2. That's it. So they're going to spend 20 minutes explaining how this thing here, the new kickstand goes all the way back. 20 minutes on that. 20 minutes on how the Joy-Con magnetically connects, and if you leave it on too long, it'll drain the battery. So you have to don't connect too much. And then 20 minutes on how bigger the screen is. That's the worst case scenario.
That's the one that's gonna stick with me, Mike. Because if we don't see any games, they don't even have to be games I like. I'm just saying we got to see some games on April 2nd. They didn't get us this hype just to say we're going to show you how the few differences between this and a device you already probably own.
Yeah, and then
they're not going to do that for 20 minutes unless that thing really actually makes waffles.
And then 20 minutes more on what the Phantom Boy says, the new button.
Yeah.
The reason why they didn't show us the new button is because they're going to spend 20 minutes on the new button.
Probably.
That's the worst case scenario. No,
it would line up with the way the Switch 1 presentation was handled. They did go over hardware and things like that for a while, but everybody, all of us as fans, we watched mainly because we knew Breath of the Wild was coming. Yeah. I can't see them doing that unless they're only planning on bringing one game. Unless they're going to bring one game to show it off. So if they have like a 1-2 switch type of game, it's like, well, this is how you're going to use your mouse functionality, and we made a new game for it, blah, blah, blah. I just don't see them not bringing any games. And the reason that Breath of the Wild worked back then is because everybody already knew it was coming. Yeah. So I just don't see that working this time. Not if they want to snag new players.
But that's why it's a worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And
go
ahead.
I was just getting ready to read it. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna thank you again, Demonic Brawler, for your super chat. Worst case scenario: Nintendo Switch 2 will be manufactured by Skynet.
That is crazy. That is insane.
I want to make a joke, but I won't. We have questions that were coming in.
All right. So yeah, this is the time where we're gonna start our Q&A. It's a good segue from the worst case scenario to the Q&A. So go ahead. You can drop you can even drop your worst case scenarios too, because this is fun.
Let's see here. So shout out to Adam Bush, Mike, Joycey, and Paul. Do you think Switch 2 is going to have lots of colors like the 3DS? I hope so, man. I don't know.
It will. I mean, I think it'll have the additions,
I would like for them to come out from the get-go and do multiple colors, not just black and white. Like, I understand why they do it, but I wish they wouldn't. But later down the line, I do, like Mike said, they're going to definitely have special editions and other things. I don't know if if it was up to me, they would just go ham with all the colors, and then still make the special limited edition ones as well. Because just putting something in an all solid color doesn't necessarily represent anything. So I wish they did that.
I agree. Yeah. Good question. I don't think I think we'll have we'll have special editions. How special they'll be, we'll find out.
And let's see here. Shout out to you again, Demonic Brawler. We posted this one earlier, but he again said worst case scenario, Switch 2 doesn't support Pro controllers.
Yeah, that's just horrible.
Oh,
what?
I lost one.
What did you lose?
I lost one of the super chats. I'll go find it in a minute. But in the meantime, Demonic Brawler. Oh, that was the same one we just read, which was hilarious. But I lost one. Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
What are the questions?
Yeah, well, also I think it was a super chat.
Okay. And let's see here. While you look for that one, I can go ahead and highlight this one. Wait, this is not a super chat. This is me. I'm not even in the right page.
I'm not in the right. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. There's another way I can find it.
Trailers. Skynet.
I didn't lose it. Maybe that was it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. There was nothing else other than that one.
Okay, but there are some regular questions too. I really just thought I missed a super chat. We don't like to miss any questions, but we definitely don't want to miss out on your comment if you super chatted in.
Yep.
So shout out to Easy L021. Thank you for your question. What if the Switch 2 menu is more of the same like the current Nintendo Switch?
Ooh, that would be
that would be a bad one too. Worst case.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a worst case scenario, but I would be a little annoyed. Like that's missed opportunity. Really, the winning formula is for Nintendo to put in whatever version of Miiverse, social, whatever they want to do, whatever hub world they want us to have. And then the other winning part is classic Switch, where it turns all that off and all you see is just the same thing that you see on your Switch 1. Maybe it'll have a little 2 in the corner or something, but then it's just plain. And I think that would be the best. There are people who don't want the hub. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to engage. They just want to get to their game and go. I would like all the Miiverse and all the extra stuff. So
yeah. But having the same thing,
give us a choice.
Having the same exact UI will be horrible. It will be horrible. Something you wait a minute. Am I playing on Switch or Switch 2? Well, I don't know where I am because I still have the same games. I was like, what the heck is this?
Not only do we have black and white, but we also now offer red and gray. That's it.
Seriously,
that was a bad one. Any more questions in the Q&A? I think I saw like 4 or 5 or 7, 28, 54, 90.
Everybody was going off about your dog in a good way. Everybody loved it.
All right. Any more? And if anybody has any other questions before we head out, we can go ahead and answer them. Let's say the next 5 minutes. Question. Just make sure you add anybody in the podcast with your question, and we can go ahead and answer right now. No super chat needed, by the way. No super chat needed.
Here's a question, also from Demonic Brawler. What if Switch 2's eShop only had those kind of games that certain adults enjoy for the whole first year? I don't know how this works because I haven't seen a lot of those games and they all look like card games and I don't pay attention to them. So I think some of y'all go searching.
Those games are horrible.
And that's your business.
Listen, they come out. I'm sorry, but I don't search for them and they just pop up. I'm like, what?
I don't know why mine don't. No, go for it, Mike. I'm sorry.
When you look for games on sale, because the deals and stuff, right? And you scroll down, you're just kind of scrolling down looking for games, and then they just pop up. I'm like, what is this? It's a thing.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm not paying attention to them or something like that, but I don't really see them because I have searched by category where you can search all the mature games. I don't know if they come up for me. I don't think so, because that's how I found Crimson Spires. There's other games that we all know and love. Bayonetta is also in the mature section, so I don't see them. So I don't know what y'all searching.
Yeah,
but that's your business. That is not my business. That is yours, and I don't change.
By the way, I don't know if I can highlight it here because it's. I'll read it. Art Vandalay says, will graphical and performance upgrades be free if you own the game, or a $10 fee, or a whole new SKU to buy?
I don't think that if it's the same game that you own, I don't think it'll be any extra upcharge to that, because it'll be the system doing the work. It won't be an update provided. The AI upscaling already works. I'm talking according to patents. The patents point to AI upscaling with the game already working without the developer having to do any extra work. That $10 patch, I could see it justify, because there's more work that goes into it to highlight assets, replace assets, make the game look better and run better on better system. But according to the patent, it's just an AI upscaling that works off the back with your Nintendo Switch games without you having to do anything. It's AI upscaling, and there's another name for it. I can't remember off the top of my head, where the AI breaks down the pixels and adds to them, replicating pixels that are already there. So adding more, making it sharper, and making it look a lot better. So if it's an AI thing, if it's an AI up thing, then there's no charge. Now the third party developers might go back into the shop and make their games look better internally, and they might want to release an update or like a DLC update that can charge you a little more for that version. But I don't see Nintendo doing that. Do you, Paul?
I don't know if Nintendo will, but I think third parties, if the amount of effort is beyond what DLSS could do, like Hogwarts Legacy would require a whole new retooling from the back end to bring it up to what the other versions had. But maybe WB is like, if you do $10 and you have your old cartridge, that'll suffice, and we'll just give you a major patch. And if they release the game separately, it is a whole other version. So like maybe, if the effort is too great because the ambition is too high, okay, there is something. Otherwise, I think it'll just be a part of kind of a general boosted up type of resolution, performance, etc.
That's a good question. Next question in the chat.
Let's see who we got next.
Got do me? Are we going from bottom to top, or from top to bottom?
Top to bottom.
Okay.
Boo Mini, shout out to you, girlfriend. For all of us, do your significant others play Zelda games? Mike.
Nope.
That is a no.
She plays only Pac-Man. That's it.
Oh, well, shout out to her. Pac-Man is lit.
Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. That's it.
Oh, she only plays Mrs. Pac-Man. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul?
Yeah. My wife, growing up, she's always been a Mario fan, playing wise, but Breath of the Wild turned her into a playing Zelda fan.
A woman of culture.
Yeah. And more so than playing, I mean, plays too, but more so than playing, being my navigator, my side map person, watching me play and playing with me, and like, look under that rock, look over there, hold on. Play. So playing together, playing independently, but also a big companion, passenger who's interested in the puzzle and figuring it out a little bit more so than playing, but also that. So yeah, Zelda turned her into Breath of the Wild, turned her into a Zelda gaming fan.
That's cool.
So my honey, I've never asked him this, but I really think what was the first Xbox? I forgot what it was called.
Just Xbox.
It was just Xbox. Okay, then it was the second one then, because I think he bought it to. I think he bought it to impress me because I'm the gamer. So he will watch me play games, especially when it's Zelda, because it's it's kind of my jam. But he likes to watch me play like the story part so I can explain to him, because as y'all know, I kind of like talking about Zelda, so he'll put up with. I mean, he'll put up with me. Yeah, and he'll watch me play during the story parts. He's like, okay, so when did this happen? Or isn't this like the last game? No, it's not like the last game. This is totally different. And then he leaves me alone. Let's see here. We just
great question.
Shout out to WrestleFigure64. Has anyone seen that Target stores expanded the Nintendo aisle, getting ready for the Switch 2?
Yep, I saw that.
I have not. I didn't notice.
Yeah, they just in my Target, they had an entire aisle. They just added another aisle on the other side, but it's kind of almost empty. So it looks like they're preparing for something. Maybe a kiosk for Switch 2 where they can play. I don't think they're gonna do it anytime soon before the experiences happen. Can you imagine having the Switch 2 at Target and play at the same time as the experiences? Are like what? I mean, that's how it was. Yeah, that's how it was back in the day. That those were the experiences. The systems were at stores before they were anywhere else. Like before they even released, so you can go and try it out.
Or McDonald's. If
Or McDonald's.
64 years. You remember that? I think the McDonald's used to have, because certain McDonald's used to have in their play area, they would have N64 games.
Yeah.
Back then too. Yeah. Let's see here. Shout out to Pokemon Fan 33. Do you think we will get games for Switch 1 first party like remasters or ports after Switch 2 is out? Ooh, I haven't thought about that.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
He said it. He already confirmed it. He said that Nintendo Switch will still continue to receive new software moving forward. What I'm guessing is that they're going to get ports, remasters coming into the Switch. Of course, third-party support will always continue for foreseen future. The install base is too big not to continue to sell games on Switch. You know, of course, Nintendo Switch 2 will have their own games specifically for Switch 2. But I'm thinking Nintendo might release some of the smaller games, even if they're new. If there's like another Mario versus Donkey Kong game, or like the smaller games on Switch, just like Switch 2 for at least a year, the first year, or Switch first or second year. But after the 30 year, I think Nintendo will just focus on Nintendo Switch 2, and then you can count on third party support for Switch and Switch 2.
My vote for that is I wouldn't be surprised if Silksong also came to Switch 1.
Oh, yeah.
My Silksong prediction from earlier.
Yeah.
So I think that's a first. Well, that's not really a first party. I'm sorry. I read that all the way wrong in my head. I'm sorry, Pokemon fan. But I think Silksong could be dual gen as well, because releasing already on a system that's already can handle it, and to help sell a new system. I think Silksong could do that.
Yeah. I think Silksong was already announced for a Switch, so it's easy to at least for that one, and it's the same art style, so they're not really doing much with it.
Probably. So another shout out to Boo Mini again. We can make this quick because we've talked about this one earlier. Okay. For all of us, if you had to place bets, what Zelda games will we see April 2nd? My bet is a port or remaster. I don't think it's going to be anything brand new. It'll be a brand new port, something that hasn't been ported before, or remaster that has been remastered before. But that's my guess.
I think it's going to be a brand new remake. I'll say Ocarina of Time from the ground up. It's going to look like a brand new game. It's going to look like a brand new game because it is a brand new game, you know? It's Ocarina of Time. No art, not the same art style, not the same little guy. I think that is completely different from the ground up. But, brand new.
Yeah, I'll go with full-on awesome remake of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Just because that's the coolest option, probably.
Yeah.
And of course, my vote goes to Twilight Princess because, in my opinion,
or that
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, once they did the 3DS versions and did what was it, HD or whatever, made them pretty basically.
Yep.
I didn't think it needs anything else. Twilight Princess desperately needs a remake from the ground up in the tech demo type of art style and all that other good jazz. It needs that. It will grab attention that way. And I will die on that hill. Okay.
Don't die on it. You can maybe.
Well, I'm not gonna die for real.
Hungry for a little bit, but don't die.
No, I won't die. But I will scream that from the rooftops for the rest of my life until they do it. Adam Brush, shout out to you. And he's asking what games do you think will go out of print first when Switch 2 comes out? Ooh, that's another good one. That's
interesting. That's very interesting.
That's a good question.
There are already games that have been going out of print for a while now, right? So I would say games that have Mario Odyssey is out of print already, right? So is it already out of print?
Mario Odyssey?
There was a list of games that were they didn't go out of print, but they reduced the amount of games they were making of them copies. So
I feel like Metro Prime was one of those. Metro Prime 1 remastered.
I remember, yeah. So that's a good question, and it all depends on the amount of games we get for Switch 2, because if these games, Nintendo will keep making them as long as they continue to sell. And the good thing about these games is that they're evergreen. Mario Odyssey is still as good today for a lot of people as it was when it came out 8 years ago, right?
Definitely.
And so it just depends on if the game continues to sell, that game will it's not gonna get it'll continue to sell on Nintendo Switch 2 because they're backwards compatible. So in a way, it is still current. It just goes into the next library of games for Switch 2. I don't really see a lot of games going out of print unless the sales are on,
I haven't fully researched this, but I found a list.
At Nintendo of America President Shintaro Furukawa said that physical games are high demand still for them, and they will not. They are not thinking of reducing their the amount of games they make physically versus digital. Or they're all digital, but they will continue to make the physical games moving forward and not stop. So I would say for Switch, maybe year five, because eventually they do have to go out of print, and this is when games start to get hard to find, and they start to increase in price. Digitally, I don't think they'll ever stop selling these games. Physically, I think I would say maybe year 3 to 5 for Nintendo Switch games.
So I found a list of some games that are probably going to either be lowered or going out of print. Mm-hmm. And I said I didn't fully research this. I'm not completely sure how this website is because I still see Metroid Dread everywhere and it's on this list. But some of the games are probably Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Yeah.
Probably the 2019 version of Link's Awakening, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Kirby Star Allies, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Super Mario Bros. U, the deluxe version, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Engage, Yoshi's Crafted World, Wario World, Get It Together, Nintendo Switch Sports, and I don't know how I feel about Super Mario Odyssey as well as Splatoon 2. And Mario Strikers Battle League. Those are the ones that I called out. That makes sense. Yeah,
and those are the games that they've reduced the amount of physical games that they make. Maybe because they're outdoing the digital is outselling the physical in that point. So it makes sense for them to not, output as many. And if you look up those games, some of those games are already up in price. Some of those games already, if you're gonna buy them on the market, they've already gone up in price because of that.
You know what? Just to piggyback onto that real quick, that's also a way that they could start pushing digital only by, they wait a certain amount of time, like maybe a year, and then they're like, oh, digital is selling more than these physical games, so we're not going to reprint anymore. We're just going to leave this particular game digital only. We released it on physical, not enough people bought it, so now everybody has to buy digital. You see what I mean? Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna rush through these because Mike is ready to go night.
Not ready. I can be here all night.
Start talking about Zelda, and we might be. Okay, for all of us, what are 3 game recommendations that we should play while waiting for new games to be released? Mike, go first.
You mean for a Switch 2?
It says, what 3 game recommendations should everybody play while we're waiting for Switch 2 games to be released? Switch 2 and the games to be released.
Okay, so there is a new game that came out in the last couple of days that is good and it's recommended. Can't remember the game right now, but It just came out a couple of days ago. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? It's called Sudoku Hadouken, 1 and 2 HD remaster. It's a RPG. If you like RPG, kind of has like the little Chrono Trigger vibe a little bit. It's HD remaster, so it's in the form of the HD 2D kind of little way. That's a good game that I haven't picked it up myself, but I'm thinking of getting that while I wait for Nintendo Switch 2 games. Because remember, Switch 2 Direct is coming now, but when it's released, we're gonna wait a couple more months until the release of the Switch 2. So from here, then I would recommend go back to your backlog and find what is the game from your backlog that most catches your attention. Right, that's what I did with Skyward Sword. I said, I'm playing Zelda games, so instead of looking at other games that I don't own from Zelda, I look for the ones that I have in my backlog, and so that's what I did there. Yeah, and so that's my recommendation. Like, look at your backlog and find what game speaks out to you. I started playing Monster Hunter Rise because I know Monster Hunter Wilds is out, and I couldn't. I wasn't ready for it. I just put it back in my backlog, and now I just got Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds on PlayStation 5. But yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, just look at your backlog if you have a backlog, because some people don't, right? Some people don't. That's my recommendation. I hope it's a good one.
Go, Paul. What are your 3 recommendations?
Astral Chain.
Yes.
Hades, and Ghost Song. If you like Metroid and you need more Metroid, play Ghost Song. Hades, just because it is a brilliant game with an amazing story and voice acting and combat and gameplay, and it's so unique. It was my game of the year for 2020. It's that good. And 2020 was a stacked year. And then Astral Chain, because it's a very good-looking title made by some awesome folks, and if you like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry or action games in general, you'll have a good story, nice voice acting, really cool gameplay, combat, catchy soundtrack, nice battle mechanics. It's super dope. Yeah. Ghost Song. Gambit. Asta. Ghost Song? Yeah, Ghost Song.
I'm writing
There's
that down.
A little bit of bias because I'm a character in it, but that's not why. But I'm a character in it too. I'm an NPC in the game, which is cool. But that's not why.
Cool.
That is just a cool fun fact.
Petition for Nintendo to make you and I Zelda NPCs in the next Zelda game.
Ooh,
all of us. Okay. When we all go to the thing next month, we gotta ask Doug.
I want to be
whoever runs into Doug first.
I want to be a bokoblin.
You want to? No, I want to be an actual. I want to be an NPC. I don't want to be anybody important. I just want to be involved. 3 game recommendation. Mike?
Oh wait, sorry.
Did I push a button?
I don't know. I think I pushed the button without thinking. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. I was just go ahead. Three game recommendation to play before the next one. I was trying to select the comments on the other side, and I clicked something, and I accidentally highlighted one and pointed to the other one. So I will highlight that one back. Go ahead, JC.
It's already gone. Actually, I forgot them already. Let's just move on. Average Joe. Mike, do you think Nintendo will change the language around remasters as being game HD to game 4K, specifically for the Switch 2, or would this undercut their HD games already on the market?
So I think that for games that will receive an improvement based on hardware, they will announce that, hey, if you play your games in HD, you will these games will automatically be upscaled to 4K. If they and for those games, like let's say when who was mentioning, somebody said, one of you said last time about Wind Waker, they could re-release it in 4K knowing that there was an version. Not releasing for Switch, just releasing for Switch 2 and 4K just to take advantage of that since HD already exists. That's how I see them naming the game Wind Waker 4K or Twilight Princess 4K, in that area, and they will re-release this so we can buy it again. And at that point, but I would see them more highlighting the fact that these games are now upscaled to 4K because of the hardware. You will see a lot of 4K, a lot of 4K resolution wording out there.
I'm trying to think of how they would incorporate that with the Switch
Remaster?
2.
Remasters, yeah. Whenever they talk about remasters, instead of HD, they could say remasters. Yeah, that's actually a good question because HD it's a higher definition, and so instead of saying a remaster, they probably will say 4K just because of the capability of the system. If the remaster is for Nintendo Switch 2 alone, then they might highlight the fact that it plays in 4K resolution and maybe use the language regarding 4K. If it's a remaster that's also on Nintendo Switch, they might go with the HD and say that you could also play it in 4K on Nintendo Switch 2.
Do you think they would call it Switch 2K?
Okay.
Never mind. That don't even go together. Never mind.
I like it though. Switch 2K.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. Stuff started tripping in my. Lord, Joycey need to go to bed. All right. Shout out to Art Vandelay. Knowing the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, will folks keep buying games on Switch 1? Personally, I say yes, because if the Switch 2 is going to be higher in price, or if they even just plan on dropping the price of Switch 1, especially if you have younger children who don't always ask for the new thing, I think Switch 1 could still do really, really well. Because parents will be like, "Here, kid, here's my Switch," or here's a Switch 1. I'm gonna go buy the new fancy shiny new one, So I can see that.
Paul and I are gonna say the same exact answer, so I'm gonna let Paul take it.
Yes.
Same answer. Basically, there are games on Nintendo Switch that didn't perform as well. That because of the hardware limitation, didn't do well. I can mention how Hogwarts Legacy is one of them. That didn't look or perform as well as they did on current consoles, and so I'm pretty sure people will revisit those games on Switch 2, knowing that they have a better hardware. That this I said Paul mentioned this a while back. I agree with him, and so that's why I say Paul and I will have the same answer. Because people will still buy Nintendo Switch games. I personally will focus on those games that I know will benefit from better hardware. I will replay the Breath of the Wild again on Switch 2, and I will do Tears of the Kingdom. I will buy Hogwarts Legacy because when I saw the comparison, I'm like, nah, I'm not even gonna try that. I own it on PlayStation 5, I think, but I maybe haven't played it yet. But yeah, I think people will still buy games on Switch 1. And I mentioned before, there's so many games that are evergreen. All the Mario games are evergreen. Zelda, And so, yeah. Yep.
And let's see here. Still got a couple more to go. And Easy LO21, he wanted us to know Wind Waker HD doesn't need any new polish, just fix the tingle bottles. And I get what he's saying. He's just basically saying kind of the same thing I think we've all kind of agreed on. Wind Waker is just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It's pretty, it's bright, it pops. It doesn't need any help. Twilight Princess desperately needs help. For just $2 a day, you can support the remake of Twilight Princess. I'm sorry. All right. Oh, Boo Minnie, she reminded me. What are my game recommendations while we are waiting? So if you want a good story game, That's a visual novel, something to read. Boomity knows what I'm gonna say. Crimson Spires. It was originally a PlayStation game. It is available on the Switch. It's mystery. It's a little bit creepy, not scary, but a little creepy. I'm going to recommend also that if you all have not played Cereza, and it was the Cereza. It wasn't Bayonetta. It's
Bayonetta.
Pretty cool.
Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon.
Oh yeah, the one that looks like very nice, like an art book story, like an art book. It's like drawn and everything.
Yes, and I still haven't played it. Mind you, it's been sitting. Anyway, it's been sitting here.
Backlog.
So there's that one, and trying to think of some gems because everybody's played Zelda, Pokemon, Mario. Everybody's played all those. Trying to think of a third one. If you guys have not played. Okay, well, it just popped in my head, so I'm gonna say this one. If you guys have not played any of the original Ace Attorney trilogy, it is completely available on the Nintendo Switch. It has been completely redone. The sprites are beautiful. I have the fans kind of have a soft spot for the old sprites and the way they used to look, but it's all brand new. It's all crispy. It's beautiful. It is also kind of a visual novel, story-like game, but it's a full story. It goes into so many different things. You play it as an attorney, obviously, and it just tells a wonderful story about the characters you're playing as well as some of the cases you're going to encounter. And if you have played the trilogy and you want more and you like a certain character in the trilogy, the Miles Edgeworth collection, Ace Attorney Investigations 1 and 2 are also available on the Nintendo Switch. You still can't get enough? Still, the Apollo Justice game series is also on the Nintendo Switch as well. There's a lot of Ace Attorney games, mainly starring Phoenix Wright, but there's a lot of them that are on the Switch. And trust me, you need these games in your life.
Good question.
So those are recommendations.
Good question, because I really want to jump into these games. But one question: do these games have voice acting, or is this all legible?
It is majority the early. Okay, so the first trilogy is the one. It's, in my opinion, are the best of the games. They are not voice acted. Now, I have not even started to play them on the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's changed. I feel like I would have heard about that in the Ace Attorney circles. So I don't think that's changed. There is a game though that is on the Switch. I think Ace Attorney fans, correct me. I believe Spirit of Justice is on the Nintendo Switch. A lot of the cut scenes are voice acted, but are still going to have to do a healthy amount of reading. Yeah, you're still going to do a healthy amount of reading. So if you kind of blow it up on your big screen and everything, I think you'll be pretty comfortable. It's written in pretty big text and everything, so your eyes don't start hurting.
Okay.
So
thank you for that information.
Yeah. You're welcome. I love my Ace Attorney. I don't give it enough love. Probably because I want another one.
An open world Ace Attorney.
Just make everything open world at this point. And, we got to hunt the world. Actually, that would be kind of fun. But that's a whole other topic. But guys, that was our last question.
Yay!
We did it. We have unlocked the final achievement, which is let's close out the show and go to bed because Joycey also ain't had no dinner.
All right, so thank you guys. This has been the amazing questions today. Great Q&A. We did our first ever what do you call this little goal thingy, and we hit the 5 out of 5. So I appreciate all the super chats that came in to go ahead and hit that goal. It was fun, having co-host from the chat. We could do this sometime later on, maybe like once a month. We do like a little goal and have like co-host, honorary co-host on the podcast and stuff. I'm sleepy, guys. I'm like looking.
We are very tired, guys, but this really is probably one of the best highlights of my week. So I'm very glad I've still got to hang out with you guys, but I just can't promise that.
Wave Racer, Wave Rider, open world. every game in open world. All right, so without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce the cast here. Joycey J, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Twitter because I'm not calling it nothing else. Mama named it Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter forever. Okay, it's Twitter. I am at DJ Joycey. I am very boring.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
But if you want to ask some Zelda questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. I may not get to you immediately, but I will answer you back, especially if it's a Zelda question. That's the best way to get my attention.
And Paul Gill Network, where can we find you?
I'm on YouTube and X at Paul Gale Network on both, and specifically on YouTube, although on other social media platforms as well. I've been doing a daily countdown, about 5-second video series where I wear a different video game shirt every day, and I tell you the date and how many days left until Nintendo Switch. And it's been a lot of fun, and tomorrow you'll see that it's 25 days left until the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. What shirt will I wear? You'll have to tune in and find out. Make it a part of your daily shorts routine. It's like checking off that calendar, but making it kind of fun in the process.
All right.
Paul will be giving me all of his t-shirts when he's done.
Oh, no. It's too much to ship. It's too heavy.
I'll just take all the Zelda ones. It's fine.
Well, there's a lot, as you know.
Thank you, Paul. And yeah, don't forget to check out the Paul Gill countdown to Nintendo Switch 2. Eventually, I'm going to start a stream countdown on the channel. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me when will I stream. I will live stream. I'm trying to set up my stuff, making sure I have my big chat here. I just set up this little monitor here so I can actually read all the chat and actually comment. Look, this thing I couldn't do before. Look, I can say hi to the chat. Look, I say hi, and they went out to the chat, so I can now comment and read the comments here. I wish it was touchscreen so I can like that, but I'm asking for too much now. But yeah,
you've been able to do that, haven't you?
No,
we talk in the chat all the time.
I do, but because I have to go here and then kind of hit the button here and then bring the screen really big. Yeah, so I rarely do it just because I have to make the screen really big on this end, and then when I make the screen really big on this one, you guys go away. So I have to kind of, I rather see you guys here and then, once in a while. But now that having a permanent huge screen here with the chat, I can can look at them while they say stuff. Look, they look, they're saying stuff. They say hi. They say hi back. Sup, Josiah Perez and Phantom Boy. What's up? And then sup, Easy Low 21. What's up? What's going on? What's the deal? Blue Meanie. And yeah, so now I can do that. I will live stream pretty soon. In the meantime, you can catch me here every day, Monday through Friday, with Nintendo Switch news. I am introducing products because you guys know I love to talk about products. Got a lot of things that I want to talk about on the channel, so I will try to put them in the news videos because, yeah, that way the algorithm can take them too. I also have my own Etsy shop like chopping things. Etsy shop that I'm gonna be revealing pretty soon with the really cool stuff. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have been amazing. We love you. We'll see you in the next year adventure of the Odyssey and Nintopics Podcast. Before we let you go, we got 2 things we gotta let you know. Number 1.
Never give up.
Don't give up. Don't do it. And number 2, Joycey, will I look for the end button because I'm lost right now.
Journey on.
The end button should be around here somewhere.
Good night, guys.
It should be here somewhere. And that should be... Bye, guys. See you later.
Bye,
2